Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the round of 8 for the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the 100 Cup Series. Here this season, I am James Parfitt, and I'm joined in the booth this evening by Michael David. So thank you so much for joining me. Here, don't forget to hit the subscribe, turn on the bell for notifications. A big old thumbs up, but it is the Las Vegas Motor Speedway set in Las Vegas in Nevada. 80,000 people capacity as well, and opened in 1992 track strip and road course, and then in 1995 with the 8 mile oval, and in 1996 1.5 mile oval. What we're running on today: major events, NASCAR Cup Series, NASCAR Infinity Series, NASCAR Camping World Truck Series in the RA Camping World Drag as well. Surface, pure asphalt, absolutely pure asphalt to see. 1.5 miles, banking turns as well as banking. And what we can do, guys, is first up, I'm going to bring in the wonderful Michael David in. Michael, good evening. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, James. Excited to be here. Great to be in Vegas, and we should have a really exciting race tonight. So I'm glad to be here. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you very much. We start the first of the round of 8, buddy, and we're here at Las Vegas. Then we go on to Homestead, Miami next week, and then Martinsville there on the 29th. And then the championship takes place on the 5th of November. So make sure you've got these dates down in your diary. They will be broadcasted live on the JPBroadcasters channel as well. So I'm sure we and Michael will be back. Races coming up. Currently the playoff standings. Here is the round of 8. John Delaney, Bryson Hicksborough, Lucas Hoitzma, Matt Long, Blake Giglio, Ralph Hutchinson, RJ Brew, and Alex Murray. It's the bottom 4 in red that are close eliminated. But after this one will be elimination, Michael, and that is only going to spice things up a bit further in round of 3.
Yeah, things are definitely getting spicy here towards the end of the season. We got a nice mixture of tracks coming up too, between Homestead, Martinsville, which is obviously a very short track. Phoenix is its own animal, and then obviously we're here tonight at Las Vegas. Tire degradation should be very, very, very important today. We should be seeing these drivers are going to have to really take care of their tires. Really going to have to pick and choose when they use those sets that they're going to have tonight. I'm expecting to see some really good racing, and I'm expecting to see Blake Giglio get himself out of that bottom 8 and up into the top 4. He's currently sitting in 5th place right now, 1 point behind Matt Long. I really think he's had some really strong runs towards the end of the season here that's kept him in the playoffs, and I expect to see a little bit more of the same.
Yeah, I think it's going to be absolutely incredible. Racing in general, I think it's going to be amazing. I'm hoping we won't have the kind of, crashes and slow pace never good really for anyone. I don't kind of want a slow pace race. I want a fast action pace, and it's something the customer should be able to give us. So hopefully that's what we'll get, right? Why not?
Yeah, you just got to be careful here. We're following along with Ralph Hutchison. You saw him get a little bit loose there at the exit of turn 2. So this is what these cars have to do. They have to be able to sustain that pace safely throughout the evening. Might be a little bit loose there from, I'm sorry, that's Matt Stone that we were looking at. Or Cameron Stone, I apologize. But yeah, so these cars really got to sustain that all night long. Got to keep your nose clean. We should see some really fast, really close racing, and I'm excited. I think it's going to be a great round tonight.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's going to be one of these races that we can go away and go, that was amazing. I mean, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I just hope that obviously we do get kind of the racing one from it. I think anything other than that, I think it's quite a slow paced race. And I kind of don't feel that that's something on almost, you know what I mean? To be quite a flowy race here, and I'm hoping that that's what we end up getting. Otherwise, you know, it's going to be one yellow, yellow, and I don't really want that. Stages, guys, the first stage is at lap 80, and the second stage is at lap 105. Well, run about a 58 to 65 here as well, and the tyre degradation is going to absolutely massively high. So it's got to, we've even been warned that it's up to the level. So we'll just have to see. BT 1017, audio is too loud. Audio where? Please let
I think
me know.
he's talking about the game volume. I just checked on that. It's pretty loud, so.
I have turned it down, so hopefully that will solve the... Hopefully, let me know. So I have turned it down for you as well. Dropped the levels a little bit, but there, hopefully good. Just let us know, and we will get it solved and sorted out. So, no. Going to be an epic one, Michael, and I think
yeah,
you want to enjoy it.
No, I think I'm really hoping that we have a clean race tonight too. But yeah, this should be an epic battle. You know, coming down the final 8 drivers of the championship, all of them are going to be wanting to, you know, cement themselves into the final 4 tonight. That way they don't have to stress for the next couple weeks. But I mean, it should be really exciting. I mean, I really. I'm excited to see the strategy. We were at the Roval last week, and unfortunately with iRacing, the tire degradation for these next-gen cars on road tracks, on road courses, is not really existent. But as you said, we've been warned ahead of time that tonight the degradations could be extreme, so I'm really excited to see some strategy involved here. It's going to bring a unique facet to racing that we didn't have last week. And I really can't wait to get this race going. We should be coming close here. The warm-up just finished, so we are going to get started here.
Yep, the warm-up done and dusted. We can't have a look at the grid. So, Michael, off you go.
We got Lucas Hoytsma taking the pole, Robert Anderson in second place, Jason Baker in third, Jason Taylor in fourth place, Ralph Hutchison in fifth place, Zach Roethlisberger in sixth place, Raymond Root taking up seventh place, Nolan Hodgson in eighth place, Matt Long in ninth place, Matt DiCiani rounding out your top 10. Then we got Blake Giglio in 11th place, Devin Medeiros in 12th place, Damian Esperenza in 13th place, Taylor Stout in 14th, Tanner Marty in 15th, Chad Sanner in 16th place, Matthew Gaskins in 17th, Jeffrey Souza in 18th place, Bryson Hicksonbaugh in 19th place. Rounding out your top 20 is R. Miller, Wayne Grace in 21st place, Ryan Samuelson in 22nd, Sean O'Brien in 23rd, Preston McRae coming up in 24th, Alex Vanderzant in 25th, Tyler Pincinelt in 26th, Randy Drumhiller in 27th, Adam Benefiel in 28th, Travis Skrmita in 29th, and Russo in 30th. We got Christopher Hamann in 31st, Dalton Mobley in 32nd, Brandon Pierce in 33rd, Bryson Alexander in 34th, Demarius Hickson-Bottom in 35th. 36th is Alex Princeton. 37th is Kevin Steele. 38th is John Delaney. And coming up, rounding out your field, is going to be Cameron Stone in 39th. We have a full field tonight. 39 drivers, 39 cars out there. This is going to get exciting real quick on this mile-and-a-half speedway.
Yeah, and I think one of the interesting things as well is John Delaney down in 38th place.
Yeah.
That's a shock.
Yeah, that's our current championship leader. He's 51 points above the cut. Not really sure what happens there. This league does get their qualifying done throughout the week, so we don't actually get to see it. It's already just kind of there for us when we come in. So not really sure what happened there. But yeah, starting from the back row, should be very challenging for him to get through here today. But that being said, he's our championship leader for a reason. He's been very consistent. You never know.
Never do know, but we'll just have to see how the 07 Lucas Hoitzma. Here we go. Bunching them up now, ready for the start. Leading us off, they've gone already. Hoitzma taking the whole shot there with Robert Anderson in second, Jason Baker in third place, Jason Taylor in fourth, Ralph Hutchinson fifth, and Roethlisberger in sixth. What do we think we're going to see here, Michael? Oh, not already.
Already got.
No! Big incident there. Oh, it's more than that. More than two.
Yeah, that's going to take a couple people out of the field here. That was quite the wreck there. We'll have to get a replay here to see how that all started, but that took out at least 10 drivers there. We'll have to see how many of our championship leaders are going to be saved from that. I'm seeing Hoitzma, I'm seeing Long, as we see the 51 car here. It's kind of, I'm not really sure what happened there. I don't think he got tapped from behind unless there's net code. He just shot to the left there.
And then everybody else kind of followed him behind. So we had Jason Baker. Tanner Marty was another one. Got involved. Jason Baker goes off. There's Tanner Marty.
He's just down on the apron trying to avoid the carnage and gets caught up with other people trying to avoid the carnage. So that's pretty unlucky there.
So that is Tanner Marty, Devin Medeiros, Preston McRae, Travis Gramada, Adam Benefield, Sean O'Brien Jr., Brandon Pierce, and Wayne Grass. Jason Baker jumped straight into the pits. Devin Medeiros as well. Well, if we're going to start it off, I kind of hoped for a bit of a clean one. And already, everybody's already into the pits, me.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't really go.
We definitely started off with the bang there.
Yeah, absolutely. And really kind of, I suppose, want to go down that route. Didn't, but what it is, caution on lap 3. Shame. We're hoping for a little bit more cleaner action. But, look, it is what it is, and we'll hopefully get underway. But Dalton Mowbray was in the pits, Preston McRae, Randy Drumhill, Bryson Alexander, Wayne Grass, Ralph Hutchinson, Alex Princeton, Chad Sana, Jeffrey Sozo, Sean O'Brien, Devin Medeiros, and Jason Baker. Well, there we go, guys. Welcome in to the broadcast if you are here, and much love to you. But we're under caution already, and try and see catch up whereabouts because it. Oh, the yellow was already out then. Get it from here. Okay, so Baker gets a little bit out of shape, right? So here it is to start. The Baker's in the 51. They start bolting off. So far, so good. Into the first. Still. Oh! No nobody touched him. He just went veering off to the left.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was netcode or not. He did get pretty close to his bumper, but I didn't see any contact. I
No.
don't think, and you didn't really see his rear end slide. He literally just cuts left, like almost like his wheel disconnected or something. I'm not really sure what happened there. It didn't look like a normal incident. You see here, he definitely let off here, but he just goes left, does clip the rear end there.
Very bizarre. Very bizarre.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting. And then there was a lot of carnage, people trying to avoid the incidents kind of coming together. So that's why we had such a big accident there. Because people were just going up and down, left and right, trying to avoid the spinning cars, and you can't fit so many cars into a square peg into a round hole type deal.
Yeah, no, and that's not ideal. Not an ideal start, I'm not going to lie, but we're going to go again. Let's see how we get on with the run on this, well, technically the second start. Hoytsma's gone already. Lucas Hoytsma has bolted. Robert Anderson has kind of been left on the standstill. Didn't really manage to keep up with Lucas Hoytsma as he's gone around and away he goes. Anderson second, Roethlisberger third, Taylor fourth, Hodgson fifth. Long, Stout and Digiani are all in sixth, seventh and eighth currently at this moment in time. So they are still in the order. Long is now up into fifth. Where do we think we're going to see this, Michael? Are we going to look at one long run line, do you think? Because obviously some tracks we've had two wide, some tracks we've had others, singles. What are we expecting here?
Well, as we see these cars going around, there are quite a few different lines that they can take here. We're seeing 2 wide, almost 3 wide in a couple places, but it just shows you the different lines. Once these cars get settled in here, we'll see if the top, middle, or bottom is a stronger line, as we've already seen Robert Anderson take the lead here from Lucas Hoytsma. I also do want to point out real quick, John Delaney and Cam Stone starting at the back of the field, but because of all that carnage, up into 17th and 19th place. But back to the front here, yeah, I think we're going to see quite a few different, we got 3 wide there almost. Yep, we're going 3 wide here. So yeah, no, there's plenty of room, plenty of opportunity to go, to choose your line, to choose whatever works best for you. But I think what really matters the most, as Matthew Long is already up into 3rd place here, so that's definitely strong run there for Matt Long. But yeah, no, it just gives the opportunity for these drivers to really tell, how they set their cars up, how they're going to explore these lines throughout the evening on the shorter runs, and then hopefully with these long clean runs.
Yeah, well, we're on 8, so hopefully we might be able to keep green for a little while before we go after the first caution took place not long after the start of the race. Jason Baker getting wildly out of control, just directly left. It was almost directly left, and unfortunately there it kind of shot back into the middle of the track, and everybody else was trying to avoid him. And unfortunately, there was a good wrapped up in that one, as I say. So it started off with Jason Baker, and then Adam Benefield, Preston McRae, Travis Gramada, Sean O'Brien, Brandon Pierce, and a whole lot more got involved with that. So, yeah, not the greatest starts. Hopefully it will settle down from these guys, and we won't be there too long. We'll be able to run green for a while. You'll run, as we said, 58 to 65 laps, Michael. I think that's what we're roughly going to be looking at this evening.
Yeah, we should see some green flag pit stops. I was saying it earlier. We've both mentioned it. I think tire degradation is really what's going to be the driving factor here. Not so much fuel, but how are they going to hold on to these tires? Who's going to have the cleaner long runs? As we see, Lucas Hoytsma has already dropped back from up in 1st place to 5th place. Maybe he might be conserving those tires, saving those tires a little bit. We've seen Matt Long go for some really strong short runs throughout these playoffs and kind of fall off at the end. So we'll see if maybe his setup is going to help him out with that tonight, or if Lucas Hoytsma is, hitting the nail on the head here and kind of conserving his tires. As we see, these front 4 cars are really already starting to take away.
Yeah, and that's, they are starting to make a move already. Robert Anderson is leading these charge of 4 with Anderson, Samuelson, Long, Stout, and Hoytsma So we'll have to see how these ones can pan out. Not very long here, Michael. You know, we're talking about 1.5 miles. We're talking about lap times of about 37. You know, if this was all running green, we're expecting about 2.5 hour race. And I think that's the thing with this, is that obviously we can get that green run that really, I suppose, in a way, we're kind of after. You know, they could get some proper bank laps in here and really make some moves early on in the actual race itself.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. The only thing is, if we continue to stay green like this and stay clean, that is going to bring traffic into consideration. With a track like this, that's always going to be an issue later on in the race, and that we're going to hope stays clean. We're going to hope these drivers are able to navigate through traffic cleanly, but that could, you know, cause some issues with faster cars coming up on slower lap traffic later on in the runs.
Yeah, I think we'll just have to try and keep an eye on this and see how this goes. That we have on board with Robert Anderson at this moment in time. Further down the order, we got Zach Roethlisberger leading a group of cars there with Jason Taylor, Lucas Hoytsma, Bryson Hicksborough, Nolan Hodgson, Blake Giglio, and Christoph Harman as well. So there's a big bunch of it is like, reminds me very much of that Tour de France feeling where the leaders are broke and these are all the peloton trying to chase them down. I don't know what you think. Let me know.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't know too much at all about cycling or the Tour de France. I do know that they use draft quite a bit, so I think that's kind of what you're getting at there. Obviously, these cars are just starting to fall in line here. We are seeing them sort of take, you know, little variants, but they're all kind of sticking towards the bottom of the line. It's not until you get to the exit of corner 2 and corner 3 that you're really starting to see a little bit of a difference between the paths that these cars are taking, these lines. As we see here up front, Samuelson is going on the outside of Stout. Stout down there on the apron is able to hold on to that, but Samuelson is running that high line, and we'll see if that gives them an advantage on the back straight here.
Phil, hi John. Thought I would say good morning. We'll catch it on replay as I need my bed. Fair one, mate. And Diane Kessler, let's go Devon Medeiros. Well, Diane, if I tell you, Devon was involved in a first lap and is currently in the pits and has been for over 10.5 minutes. Managed to do 1.05 laps before he got caught up in a wreck, and now we're on lap 18. So it's a long way down. Ralph Hutchinson is also in the pits. Jason Baker's been in the pits for the same time as Devon. So I don't want to sort of bring you down because you jumped in and gone like, yay, all right, go, let's go Devon. But unfortunately Devon's in the pits, and he has been, as I say, for about 10 minutes, nearly 11 minutes. So sorry about that, to be the bearer of bad news that I feel I just have been. So, you know, there we go. Jason Taylor is still currently running with Lucas Hoytsma, Zach Roethlisberger, Bryson Hicksborough, and Blake Giglio in the racing pack. In that drop-off there, Michael, cars in the middle, you know, Taylor Stout and Ryan Samuelson. What team tracks here, where the draft, when you're only 2 deep in a pack, get kind of swallowed up really, really quickly. You know, are we expecting that same kind of thing here tonight, where obviously they get, so Ryan Samuelson, Taylor Stout are going to end up joining the pack because their draft is not kind of working as such like the other mains are?
You know, you're starting to see this field kind of spread out a little bit more. That kind of tells me that the draft, while it is strong once you're bumper to bumper, once you get spread out a little bit, it becomes a little weaker. So I'm not sure the draft is going to be the biggest thing here. I think, honestly, as we see cars really going side by side here, coming down the tri-oval into turn 1, and they are just all over the place, taking so many different lines here. But, you know, when they're grouped up like that, the draft is going to be strong, but it's a lot easier at a place like Las Vegas to kind of separate a little bit and get a little bit of space between you and the car ahead of you, car behind you. We're seeing that right now with the top 4 cars how they're really just pacing, and then the rest of the field is just slowly but surely kind of expanding itself out, kind of like pulling it apart an accordion. So while the draft is strong, it's just not as strong as you would see on a super speedway or another track. And that,
I'm sorry.
just that kind of lends itself to the design of Las Vegas. Las Vegas is a speedway; it's a mile and a half, but to me, I've always felt like it felt like more of a short track. I felt like it drove like more of a short track. It's not a short track, but I just feel like it always kind of felt like one to me.
Yeah, I think it's different when you go to places like Charlotte, which is, as we know, kind of practically full flat for the whole entire lap. This isn't full flat. You know, we're gonna on board with Cameron Stone. We're gonna hear him lifting and feathering the throttle before he sort of moves it on and keeps going. But kind of got that imagery of it that sort of gives it the thing that says, well, you should be able to just bomb this round here. You should just be able to hit the pedal, hit the go loud pedal, and away you go. But it's not like that, is it here?
No, not at all. These cars have downforce, but it's not like an F1 car. You really got to feather the throttle through these corners. Whenever you're in a draft, you actually have to let off a little bit because you're going to be going that much faster into a corner. So if you really want to conserve the tires, especially if you want to conserve the tires, you really need to let off a lot more than you would think in the corners. So yeah, like you said, it's definitely not a flat out full lap here. There's a lot more to the pedal work. You got to be, as I like to say, you got to be a lot more proper on the pedals.
Proper on the pedals. Ever the man with the correct stay in there, Michael David. Got to be proper on the pedals. Well, Ryan Samuelson is being swallowed up by that group that we were talking about before. Though, as literally Taylor Stout is next on the list. He's going to be driving around. Currently got Jason Taylor, who we know can, well, he can do miracle things in the cars. Lead packs, pull lines, he can do it all here. And I'm sure he probably will. He's catching Taylor Stout as well. That Roethlisberger again going past. Oh, Samuelson's in the wall.
Yeah, that looks like it's going to slow him down, but I don't think there's too much damage. No, there is cumulative damage now in this next-gen car, so the more that you hit the wall, and there's a little bit of front-end damage there, that is definitely going to affect him a little bit. See if he has to come into the pits to get any repairs, because the more and more you touch the wall, the worse and worse it's going to get, just like in a real, NASCAR or any kind of car, to be honest with you, in the real world. So we'll have to keep an eye there on Samuelson. Definitely not what he wanted to do, and that's letting quite a few cars go by, so he is definitely losing pace here. One of the other cars that has gone by him and is now up into 10th place, your championship leader, John Delaney. RJ Root up into 20th place as well. So unfortunate for Ralph Hutchison. I'm going to have to look here and see where Alex Murray is currently. But everybody else other than Ralph Hutchison looks like, and as soon as I can find where Alex Murray is. Did Alex Murray not start tonight? I don't think Alex Murray's here tonight.
I don't think he started because I can't see him either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so unfortunate for Ralph Hutchison. Alex Murray's not going to be here. So even though we had that big incident, other than Ralph Hutchison, all of our championship drivers are still in this race, still on the lead lap, still running strong.
In as well, and John Delaney, who we can see here, car number 6, is one of them guys as well. Taylor Stout, Jason Taylor's already got past, and now here comes Lucas Hoitzma back through again, trying to gain the position. Lost sort of a quick dose of 4 places, didn't he, at the beginning? Only went from 1st to 5th, and then was kind of, dropped down the order, and then slowly getting back out. He's now only down 4 on his grid slot where he started on pole. So this has got to kind of be a little bit more sort of careful, I suppose, with it to be able to get this car's moving, doesn't it?
Yeah, you say that. I did see him drop back to 7th, but we've also seen Lucas Hoitzma do this before, where he has a strong car for qualifying, a strong qualifying run, gets out to a lead or, you know, up into second or third place early on, then just kind of falls back a little bit, just buys his time, and lets his car kind of come to him later on in the stint. He tends to have these setups that are, you know, longer lasting, longer run based. So the further out into a run he can go, the faster and faster his car becomes. So I think that's kind of what we're seeing here. And you know, it's I don't mean to be picking on Matt Long as we see. Wow, Stout got really loose there coming out of turn 2. We've seen Matt Long kind of do the opposite before, and it looks like he's running strong, real strong right now. But I hope that stays this way, because we've seen him kind of do the opposite, where he has a strong car up front, and then it slowly starts to bleed off. So hopefully Matt Long is able to, you know, counteract that tonight. Right now he is sitting in 4th place, currently in the Final 4, but only 1 point above that cut line. So he definitely wants to have a strong finish tonight, and that would go pretty far here to have a strong finish here in stage 1.
Oh yeah, he's sitting in 2nd place currently at the moment. Delaney cleared Rufflesberger and is now up in 8th further down the field as well. Brandon Pierce here is getting in the mix of Gaggle cars with RJ Root, Matt DiGianni, Sean O'Brien Jr., Jeffrey Sosa, Nolan Hodgson in front with Cam Stone as well. Cam Stone, their car number 57, he also in this mixed up. So it's going to be interesting one to keep an eye on, guys, because trust me, only going to get spicier, Michael. And I think from our point of view, I think we're in sort of for a grandstand finish again, like we had and have seen previously, of these cars all going down to the line, because this is kind of where Las Vegas and that kind of lends itself to it, and they you know, they're very spread out and sort of across the track at the moment. So I'm sure, you know, they're all kind of pretty much all the way around the circuit at the moment. You're still not out of it though. Still not out. You're sort of 9 seconds off the lead, which is where Cameron Stone currently is.
Yeah, you're still not out of it. If you start 39th and you're up into 15th place, 36 laps into it. Cameron Stone has had a great run here. But that's the beauty of Las Vegas. I think you're right. It is going to kind of lead us to, I don't want to say a photo finish, but, you know, a very strong finish, some really strong, close racing here. Just because Las Vegas kind of lends itself. There's so many different lines here you can take. There's so many different setups that will work, that can be fast. It's really all about who can conserve the tires best and who's able to make those long green flag runs work best for them, assuming we stay under green.
Yeah, I think the fact that, you know, tire deg in green, that was the message we got. It's so that drivers are going to have to really, really, really careful, aren't they? Because they're going to go off. They're going to hit a cliff. And if they hit the cliff and they're on that banking on the high side, there's nowhere to go apart from down onto the apron. And that's coming across traffic. So you're going to have to be mega careful how this is handled.
Yeah, with 20-degree banking, you want to stay away from that apron to the curve in the corners. But yeah, no, tire degradation extreme is that's just going to be the name of the game here in Las Vegas. Picking and choosing your lines, conserving fuel when you can. It's all about saving your tires, though. It's all about who's going to be able to have the most consistent lap times without blowing up those tires, without burning them out too quickly. Like we said earlier, last week at the Roval, tire degradation literally non-existent. Complete opposite side of the coin here at Las Vegas tonight.
Why is that? Like, if I was sat in chat and I was like, what are these two on about? How could you that to be? Why are we looking at the track that dry oval that basically goes left, running higher degradation than a corner like the Roval that runs in the banking of where we're at? It goes into, comes round the last corners, and it goes 6, 7 is also part of the banking. But why is it that banked track is higher deg than a Roval?
Well, it lends itself to a couple different things. First of all, the Roval, Andre was actually teaching me this. The tire The tire model that iRacing has for the next gen NASCAR on road courses is non-existent. So it is actually, the game itself does not see any sort of tire degradation. I think when we were having some conversations with the drivers last week, they literally didn't need to change their tires because there was absolutely zero, reason to. Here, on the other hand, you're going to have the higher steep banking. It uses a different tire model completely, so that's number one, the tire model actually works. So there's always that. But just because of the asphalt, the 20-degree banking, and just the way that the curves are set up, just the way that turn 1 it blends into turn 2, and then kind of flattens out and then blends itself back into turn 3 and 4. It's just, you really got to be careful with that front right tire. You don't want to burn it up too quickly, sliding up the track. So it's really just the difference between the two different tire models that the game, or the simulator itself, uses, and then on top of that, just the fact that Las Vegas is such a unique trial.
Yeah. Okay. For anybody that didn't quite get it, so hopefully, there you go. I hope that's cleared it up there. Blake Giglio and John Delaney. Giglio up 5, Delaney up 33. Michael, not bad.
Up 33 positions. Yeah, no, that's not bad at all. He started there in the back with Cam Stone. Both of those drivers moving up quite a bit, as we see Matt Long, I believe, has jumped it to the pits here. So we're going to start seeing some green flag pits. Lap 44 here. I was going to say we have 4 of the top 8 here in the top 5, but that is no longer the case. Matt Stone jumping in the pits, the first of our championship round of 8 drivers to do so under green flag conditions.
Yeah, Bryson Hicks has been in, RJ Bruce, Brian Samuelson, Ralph Hutchinson, Randy Drumhiller. Baker it looks like Baker's done. Jason Taylor in, Matt Long in, Taylor Stout in, Blake Giglio in. Robert Anderson is also another one in the pits at the same time. So there's a lot of action down in the pits, and we're only on lap 45. We thought we might be able to get to 58, but that because of the tyre situation already, Michael? Is that what we're seeing currently?
I think it definitely has something to do with it. I think these drivers are starting to see those lap times fall off a little bit, starting to get a little bit looser than they feel comfortable with. And, halfway through this stage, just kind of taking a look here as we see John Delaney all the way up in the first place. Obviously, he hasn't pitted yet, so that's going to change his position once he comes into the pits. But what a run here so far by John Delaney. Very, very, very strong run here. But, yeah, no, it's definitely going to, cause a few things here throughout the evening is pit strategy. But I think as we see John Delaney coming down to pit road now, I think it's really all about tire degradation.
Yeah, I think we're losing a big puff of smoke further back there as well. Hopefully they've managed to get in okay, but that leaves currently Miller, Kevin Steele in second place here. Kevin doing a stellar job in the 24, currently in second place at this moment in time. We have just 7 laps past halfway. Stage 1, which will take place on lap 80 before we get the caution out, and that will be of the stage. So Armilla's in as well. Cam Stone now down as your leader. Cam there as well is the leader, but hasn't, as of yet, one of the only 2, Matt DiCiani and Cam Stone, have not hitted. So that's up 8 currently at the moment. Well, that's a little bit earlier than we thought, Michael.
Yeah, that's definitely a little earlier than we thought, as we see Cam Stone's staying out. I thought he was going to come down a little bit, so he's going to try to stretch this stint out as much as he can, coming all the way from the very back of the pack all the way up to now leading this race for a couple laps here before he comes into the pits. But yeah, no, I think it all comes down to tire degradation. That's what we're seeing here. These drivers just aren't able to really hold on to these tires as long as they'd really like to, as long as the fuel can last. So they're just having to kind of roll with the punches here. Take what they can, try to conserve as much as possible. But you're seeing these lap times really fall off, and then now they're starting to come right back as we see Anderson already back into the mid-30s. Giglio back into the mid-30s. Delaney back into the mid-30s. Hoytsma back into the mid-30s. These drivers were all into the 32s right before they came into the pits, so that is a huge difference on fresh rubber.
Yeah, the only problem, Cam Stone is still out in that 32 range as well. But no, he hasn't pitted, and I wouldn't be surprised if he dropped down now. Yeah, he has. Stone in. Kind of elongated, didn't he really kind of lengthened it out a little bit. So hopefully might and should kind of on course when it comes to the end. Ending it might do all right, depending on obviously if we get a caution.
Yeah, no, it looks like he was really trying to stretch that out as best as he could. We'll see him falling down through the order a little bit, but that's definitely going to give him a tire advantage towards the end of the first stint here. That's definitely something to look out for as Cam Stone takes that advantage. You know, he was starting to lose time there. He was in the 32s while these leaders are up into the 30s. We see Matt Long at 30.216 there. That's a very fast lap around this track. He is just moving. But we'll see that throughout the evening. The degradation is going to lose these drivers about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds a lap. Once they start falling off a cliff, they just go. So it's all about who can conserve them the longest.
Yeah, I think it's going to play a massive part this evening. Drivers have got to think what they've got to do. You know, currently Jeffrey Souza out in front here, up 17. With Matthew Gaskin behind him. So from Jeffrey Sousa's point of view, he's got about 2.17. He's in a draft line almost as well. So he hasn't really got to worry about as much as Gaskin's getting near him, because obviously pull forward once he can settle back in again. So from Sousa's point of view, not looking too bad at the moment.
No, not at all. Running up in the top here. He's already pitted, so he's got that under control. He goes a little wide there, but I think he's got some lap traffic ahead of him that he's trying to kind of negotiate around, which is going to become a feature for the rest of this race as long as we stay green. Is now that this field is completely stretched out, it's going to be, you know, lap traffic here and there, and these leaders are going to have to really pick and choose their battles and try to figure out where the best place to pass is going to be once we get these packs kind of brought back together. Right now we're quite spread out.
They're going to come back together. Obviously they're going to put a caution, I suppose, but it's going to be what we're going to see. Like, they're going to drive, they're going to spread out, they're going to be in their own little race, and then they're going to come back together at the end of stage 2 on, of course, lap 165. You know, what are we physically? The last 55 laps, you know, apart from the caution at the beginning, they've been flag running all the way, and there's packs spread out all over the place. They're literally in constant packs of cars all the way through. You know, Giglio, Delaney, Benefield, they're in a pack. Hicksprint 4.5 seconds up on the road. He's got Jason Taylor, Matt Long in front of him. Further back from that, Hodge and Roethlisberger, Pierce are in their own little pack. Van der Zandt, Steele, Dicciani, O'Brien, Wayne Grass, Cameron Stone, you know, packs developing, isn't there? So what do we think it's going to run like if we're going to continue under green?
Well, the thing is, all these drivers are going to be under different strategies, so that's going to come into play later on in these runs. Right now, early in these green flag runs, just after these pits, we're going to see these cars kind of stretched out. But once we get a little further in, you're going to see certain cars that came in a little early are going to start falling off before the other ones do, obviously. You know, your Cam Stone, who stayed out the longest, he's going to be strongest towards the end of the stint here. But that's going to come into play a little further on into the run. So I think right now everybody's just trying to find their place, trying to hold their ground. It's nice to see the 51 back out there racing again. Had that huge incident earlier in the race that started all of the drama there. But yeah, I think it depends on where we are. The further we get down into the longer runs, is we're going to see these drivers that stopped later kind of start catching back up and start using that fresher rubber to their advantage.
Yeah, that is Jason Baker. He's currently about laps down. Devin Medeiros is still in the pits now as well, and 1.5. He's currently over 57 laps down. So he is still in the session, but it's obviously tracking. Jason Baker is 20 down. I think from Baker's point of view, though, I'm surprised. I'm also here as well. I wanted to pick up and say Jeffrey Sosa. I'm not quite sure why he's not in. He's currently in 33. Now, he pitted round about lap 2. He was caught up in the ran for 8 laps. But why that taking place and he's not? I'm a little bit confused already.
Yeah, he's just got to be trying a different strategy than everybody else. He was involved in that incident, so he had to pit early. Not 100% sure that he took tires. We can assume that he took tires, but we don't know for sure. But he is definitely running on some very thin tread out there. We should be seeing him come in really any lap now, especially if he's in the 33s.
He's in the 33.05s. He's seconds a lap to the guys behind, but then again, they're hitting 31.5s as well. So I'm expecting Jeffrey Sosa, unless he's running a full tank run out, it's really kind of coming in. It's very, very shortly. He has gone round again, mind you. So it's kind of what but second to lap is never good. Got a stage.
No, but it's still early in the race, and he's probably just trying to change a strategy up. Once again, he was involved in that incident, so had to come in early. He does have some damage on that car, so that might be playing a factor into it. But at the end of the day, we're not in that car. We don't know what his strategy is. We don't know the deciding factors here. So whatever JTG wants to do, and we see him coming down the pit lane now. Him and Gaskins both coming into pits.
In there as well, so was expected him. Never disappointed. I mean, that Robert Anderson again. So back out in front. Sorry, I was just dealing with one of the wonderful people who jumped in. That's Taylor and Matt Long. They are nose to tail currently at the moment. Taylor is at the car in the back. Matt Long in front. Where
Jason Taylor.
Yep. Yeah, doing the business he always does. You know, he's up 1 ready. Delaney's up 33. Delaney's back up in place. So that they've got to run and run and run. And don't get me wrong, we are green in about 15 laps we go into caution. Where's that going to leave the likes of Sosa? Ending their stops right out until where are we currently as well with Sosa? You know, ended it out onto laps.
Well,
sense to do that.
Well, they're probably planning on not coming in during the stage 1 caution, I would assume. They would stay out for that, which would put them up towards the front of the field, if not up in the front of the field for that stage 1 caution. So coming into stage 2, they could be starting 1-2. That's definitely a strategy that's going to give them an advantage early on in stage 2. So maybe that's what they're going for. But like you said, that was a very, very long stint. We saw these drivers start to come down lap 44, lap 45. So, I mean, maybe they were just, you were predicting 55, 58 laps on these tires, on these fuel loads. So maybe they were just on that strategy from the beginning and just never got off of it. And that just got bumped back a little bit because they got involved in that lap 1 incident.
Yeah, I guess I was quite surprised that they didn't. Thought they might have had a go at least. So we have got tyre limits here as well. So they've actually got 8 tyre limits. So they're on an 8 sets limit. So
Okay, 8 sets. Yep, that sounds about correct. I think that's what it was last time out as well. I think that seems to be kind of the norm here for the 100% league, the 100 Cup. So that should be more than enough to get towards the end of the race here with some to spare if these drivers are going to be pushing them,
What have we
you know,
done? 44
40 to
laps.
50 laps. Yeah.
Round it off to 45. Maths, man. Carry on for
All right, as we follow along here around Long and Taylor, kind of drafting each other. We see Hicks and Baugh is right behind them, trying to stick with them in the 63. But right now they're coming through, I believe, turn 3 into turn 4 to come down the front stretch here and cross over the tri-oval. This beautiful track. They have all brought their pocketbooks this weekend so they can go ahead and gamble away all the money that they win here on the track tonight. I'm not allowed in Vegas. The wife does not let me travel out there. She says that she has control over my wallet, so there we go. Not allowed to be there.
that's not really. No, mate, mine's the same. Turn round, and I'd like to think that they're in control, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
Exactly. Without a shadow of a doubt, the man is not in control, regardless of what. My saying is, I wear the trousers. Just the wife tells me what colours I'm putting on. You know what I mean? So,
that sounds about right.
exactly. So, right, I've done some maths in the background. I reckon that they're going to get 2 designated sets at 45 laps per set, right? That is obviously not extra 2 sets that they're going to on the stage, okay? Because obviously running 45 laps, about 40, 70. So give or take, we're around about that. Plus the 2 they're going to on the stage. That's 8. So
yeah, the name of the game is going to be taking care of your tires.
oh no.
So that longer stint that we saw there by those 2 drivers might be, coming into play later on in this race. They were able to save those tires as long as they could.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It might actually pay off.
Yeah.
I want to admit that it would, but might actually. Let us know in chat if you are here as well. Just obviously, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, like, turn on the bells for all the notifications. Let me know what you think. Are they going to get through the tyres on 8 sets? We saw the early lap times, pit lane times of 44 to 50. So we picked an average of about 45. Let us know what you think, whether or not they're going to get all the way through the race. They've got 8 sets of tyres. They're running currently at the moment, and we've only 6 laps before the end of the stage. I then believe we might just get rushing. Then I'm also wondering as well, Michael, that if they have got mint tyres, and there is an opportunity for a red, yellow flag later on in the race, will they, because they're out of sync, throw that car into the... Technically, we're only not that far out of sync. We're about 5 to 10 laps off.
Yeah, I guess they're not going to be that far out of sync. It'd be a little bit, and those little bits add up towards the end of the race. So you're looking at losing a tire set a little early. I think it really depends on where they're sitting right now. I think your championship leaders are going to try to stay out because it makes the most sense for them at this point to stay out. But if you stay out, you run the risk of a couple of those other guys kind of doing the opposite, doing a bit of an overcut, undercut kind of deal, using the free pit stop at lap 80 to get fresh boots. So that's going to make them a lot faster than you are, first of all, and second of all, you're going to have to take a green flag pit stop, which is going to become a disadvantage for you later on in the run, assuming there's no cautions. So it's kind of a roll of the dice here. It's kind of a catch-22. Do you come in and risk the fact that they stay out, or do you stay out and risk the fact that they come in?
Well, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure these drivers aren't driving with balls on their laps, young man. So I've got a funny feeling they're not going to really know what to do, apart from the fact that they have got to know is got to do their best, because obviously can't get through if you don't finish. And for the likes of long, stout, ditch down in grass, kind of important they do.
Yeah, no, definitely. Long, Delaney, Higginbaugh, Hoytsma, Giglio, Root. These drivers are all up in the top 20 right now, with Root being the furthest one back. Obviously, we have Ralph Hutchison, but Ralph was involved, unfortunately, in that early incident. He's quite a few laps down right now. Let's see here as he comes around. Ralph Hutchison, watch him right there. He's only, yeah, he's 10 laps down, so not the best start to the evening. Not what he wanted to see. Unfortunate for Ralph here. So hopefully next week he'll be able to snap back and kind of give it a good go. Obviously he was just caught up in all the shenanigans from the lap 1 incident. Wasn't exactly his fault here. These things happen, but it's just unfortunate as he's in the championship final 8 for Ralph. No.
Up 80. Anderson. Taylor behind him. Robert Anderson. Bank. Bad if Matt Lonkin's third.
I don't think any of these drivers wanted to see John Delaney up there in 4th, though. Bet when they saw the qualifying results, saw him all the way in the back of the pack, they were probably pretty happy. This is definitely not how they wanted it to go, though, as we come around lap 80, and we are going to be under caution here momentarily.
Oh.
And this is going to be the big deal here. Who comes in? I think if I'm a driver, I think if I'm one of these 8 championship drivers, and I'm in the top 10, I'm running the risk. I'm gonna go get some fresh rubber, and try to be a little bit quicker here at the start, and hope that some of these guys stay out and have to pit under green. I'm gonna take that free pit stop. You're already on your 2nd set of tires, though. You're burning through them pretty quickly here. It's not as simple as we seem to be, making it. I really don't think it is. I think, yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit more complicated than just that. Just because you don't have, the degradation is just so powerful here. There's just so much tire getting ripped off here that you run that risk of, at some point, you really have to push a Long stint out, as we see Long and Delaney are coming in.
Oh, well, basically.
Yep. Now we're seeing everybody coming in, yeah.
Ray, Gasket, first man.
Gaskins was one of those drivers that pitted late.
Up 6.
It was him and Souza. So we should see them coming up. So there's their strategy right there. Trying to make that work for them. Stay out. And, I mean, if they can kind of push these tires out another 60 laps, so about, 40 laps from here? If they can do that, and then all these other drivers start coming in around the same time, lap 40, lap 45, lap 50, it doesn't put them that far off. Now, they are going to be a lot slower than the other cars, so they're going to have to. But at the same time, this strategy might come into play later on in the runs, and saving that extra set of tires is going to make them way faster at the end of the race.
I would have.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe he was trying to. Was he a lucky dog there? He might have been a lucky dog. He might have been a lap down after pitting under green. I'm not really 100% sure what happened there, but yeah, kind of weird to see him coming in so late.
But then again,
But
not alone, is he? Look at all the others as well.
no.
Hicksabra, Alexander, Scripnator, Pierce, Donald, Dana, Harman, Hutchinson. Well, Hutchinson down anyway.
Mhm.
Baker back out. From Drumhiller as well was also down the order. I don't think Drumhiller's. So Baker is Samuelson is not either. So that incident with Ryan Samuelson, whatever really sort of kicked him off and confident.
Yeah, he was definitely losing quite a bit of pace. We saw him trying to stick it out there to see if he could make that car continue to stick, but it was just clear as day that he was just going way too slow to really be safely going around this track. He was trying to stick to the high line to kind of keep everybody's way there, but it becomes a safety hazard. It becomes an issue there at a certain point, as we see. I believe it's Dalton Mobley there that just got the lucky dog. So Dalton Mobley coming around to get a lap back and hope that he can get back onto the lead lap here.
Coming end of stage one. Stage lap 100, sorry, and 5. Now, far from the on there, Michael.
Yeah, no, we're going to be lap 165, so 80 laps from now. And then from there, let me do some quick math here. 267 laps, so from there we'll have about 100 laps to go, give or take. It'll be a little less than 100 laps once we get green. But that being said, it's definitely kind of going by. We had a very clean run there, aside from that first lap incident. So it's kind of going by pretty quickly. Great racing so far, good clean racing. We've seen these cars able to take multiple different lines, as we see Robert Anderson taking us away.
Here we go. Pace car is in. Anderson bolted again. Gone already. These guys now are going back. Delaney all the way up in second place. Miller third. Benefield fourth. Long in fifth. And Kick up and running. After the stage victory there for Anderson, is now out in front. Just pack away. Got various lines. I would say we haven't got line bank. But that's got to give it, I suppose, almost time to spread out, haven't it?
Yeah, it's not like a normal track where you have defined lines. You have your top, middle, bottom line here, but at the same time, it's not someplace like in Atlanta or something that you can define those lines. Everybody is able to just kind of find their own space around the curves. So we see these cars are really starting to want to hug the bottom here as we come across with fresh tires. But the further in, it's going to open up a lot of these different lines here. Further back, we're going 2 wide, also a couple 3 wides there. But yeah, this track is going to be an awesome opportunity for overtakes quite a bit through the midfield here as we continue down this race.
We've got picked up Cam Stone, his car number 57 now, kind of in the middle of the big pack. The only reason I went down to Matthew Gaskin, I was just checking where Dalton Mobley is and kind of got underway. To lose 1.7 to the back of Gaskin, who is also losing time. So
he might not have gotten up to speed or caught up to the back of the pack there when he got around. I'd be a little surprised there if that was the case, but that's also a possibility as we see John Delaney 36 positions gained up into second place. Blake Giglio driver that I picked early on up in the 3rd place. Adam Benefield right there in 4th place. Adam Benefield also up 24 positions. Miller up 15 positions. So there's been quite a few cars that have just really just moved up so much through the field. Obviously, that incident earlier on helping, but still have quite a few cars out there. So it's not like they're just getting free passes along here. They're working their butts off. They're getting their groove on, and they are getting at it. These championship drivers are really, really, really going for it today.
They kind of have to.
No, of course they have to. This is 3 races left until the championship race. This is do or die. But I mean, I said it earlier. I'll say it again. If you're one of these top 8 drivers, you did not want to see John Delaney go from 36 spots down up into the top 3. You didn't want to see that. He's just proving that he is just on a different level this season.
I think it's a tough one for anybody to try and stop Delaney. I think that's the thing this year. So, Delaney is good that not in sort of ballpark as these guys at the moment. He's MLB and these guys are down in Little League. Absolutely showing them the way. Instead of taking them to school, Delaney has kind of taken these guys to school. None of these slouches in this NASCAR. But Delaney
absolutely not.
No, and Delaney just to have that little bit of an extra edge over them.
Yeah, this season's really all come together from him. I was talking to Andre a couple weeks ago. I think it was last week, actually. He was saying that, last year Delaney would he would show that he had the raw pace, but then he would make a simple mistake here and there and kind of shoot himself in the foot. This year, he's not making those mistakes. He's getting wins by the handfuls. He's moving positions, racing consistently, cleanly, and he is just all over the place and just up in the front of the field here. It's just extremely impressive to me, the drive that he's had, not just this season, but today. It kind of represents everything that his season has worked for, starting all the way towards the back of the pack and here in stage 2 all the way up into 3rd place.
Yeah, absolutely. Mightily impressive. I'm not going to lie what Delaney has done. I think even I can't hear and I think it's more my own point of view, probably more the fact that I'm probably doing 7K and running on an A on 0.31. Out here, top of his game at the moment.
7K, oh, that's nothing.
Hey,
just kidding. Yeah, no,
these
drivers are insane. No, I'm nowhere near that. I can promise you that. These guys definitely put me to shame. That's for sure. I have a tough time with this next gen car. That's for sure. Anytime I try to really get a feel for it, it just seems like a different sort of animal. I'm a little more comfortable on road courses. It's a tough car to really wrap your head around, and these guys have really taken to it and just put it in its place. They just grab the bull by the horns, if you want to say. But this car is not an easy car to drive, and it is just showing how much talent these drivers all have.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the thing. Got to kind of drivers. They are flying. They've got this car cemented down. They've got it where it needs. Sort of, kind of just saying, well, how we get on, and at the moment is Cam Stone, lap 50 on the car number 7, RJ Root. Back, well, there goes RJ car number 8. Flying along quite nicely, 13th place on the left-hand side. RJ is kind of one of these drivers that is in a little bit of danger for not making top 4. But RJ's got to kind of keep it at the same time, Michael.
Yeah, you definitely want to see RJ Root kind of move himself up the field. He definitely needs it. He's Seventh place right now, 4 points back from that cut line. It's going to help with the Ralph Hutchison incident earlier. That's going to help. Going to help that Lucas Hoytsma is a little bit behind him, but we know Lucas Hoytsma has the pace. We know RJ Root has the pace. So we've seen these two battle it out quite a bit this year. So right now, if you're RJ Root, you got to kind of just keep your nose down, try to stay clean, like you said, through this traffic. And, I mean, you need a little bit of assistance. You need to keep Hoytsma behind you. You need to hope that something happens between, Long, Hitzenball, or Giglio, because those are the drivers immediately in front of you. So we know he's going to move up at least one position this week.
Yeah, absolutely. We
Three
got 3 wide. Oh. Third caution is out.
That's not what he wanted.
That is not what RJ Root wanted. So Ricky Thompson there. Commentators Mike is going in and out. Which one? Can let us know which one that will be. That is absolutely amazing. Basically, separate us by the English one or the American one. There we go. I think I'm happy with that. Michael, you good with that?
Yeah, that works for me.
That works for me too.
I'll take my steak and baked potatoes.
Oh well, you do that, and I'm going to take my steak and chips. So off you go. But yeah, let us know which one's cutting in and out there, buddy, please. Well, that would be absolutely amazing. Not entirely sure who or why. Now, however, for RJ Root, that wasn't good. And it was Taylor Stout they were involved in.
On here, they're 3 wide, and Taylor Stout, RJ Root was kind of in the middle there. Taylor Stout kind of dropped down. There might have been a little bit of net code there. I don't think he was really touching. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that was net code. They got close, but I don't think they actually touched.
I don't believe it again. Out.
That's just extremely unfortunate for RJ Root. It was the last thing that he needed.
Yeah, no.
Right when we were just talking about how clean he needed to have it.
Yeah, and he didn't really, unfortunately, he's in bits, but this not what these guys needed, right? Because
no,
but
it's going to open up pit lane for quite a few of these drivers. We were going to see them start. We were only 25 or 20 laps into that stint there, so a lot of these drivers are still on somewhat fresh rubber. So I guess this is going to be kind of a strategy call here.
I think this is where we said though that they've only got 6 sets to get to the run career. They've got 2 stages, and they've got some for yellow. Obviously, we don't know who hiring, once you get that. But we don't want anybody running out here. Otherwise, somebody's going to be Bambi on ice by the end, aren't they?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the case here, especially with these next-gen cars here at Las Vegas. Coming down the banking onto the tri-oval and onto the straight, it's very easy to get that tail end loose. We've already seen it a little bit. Luckily, we've only had 2 actual cautions here. Obviously, we had a 3rd caution for our stage 1 victory. But yeah, it's gonna be just as important now as it ever has been, saving these tires. As we see, quite a few drivers are coming down the pits. Giglio staying out, Anderson staying out, Stone staying out. I believe Delaney stayed out. I think Matt Long stayed out, Hicksonball stayed out. So your top 4 championship drivers in the top 8, Giglio, Delaney, Long, and Hicksonball, all staying out here. So they're pretty confident with where their tires are right now, and I think I would be too. I think I kind of agree with what they're doing here. It's nice to see Cam Stone up in 4th place too. Cam unable to make the final round of 8, but still nice to see him finish or running strong here, starting at the very back of the pack and all the way up into the top 4.
Yeah, well, he's up 35 places. Not a bad was there really? About it for Cam Stone. Got to make sure he can bring that car home and get it to the end now, because that's the last thing he doesn't want to be doing, is not sort of getting it home. I think that would be kind of somewhat of a shame.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we've already seen that with a couple of drivers here. Ralph Hutchison, one of the championship 8, getting involved with that lap 1 incident, and then RJ Root, unfortunately, as we were talking about him, getting involved with a little bit of a netcode issue going 3 wide. Unfortunate there for him, but we should be under green momentarily here. I think the pace car will be turning its lights out this lap. We'll have to see here momentarily.
No, yes.
Yep. Lights are out.
The lights are out, so we are going to be again here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Caution lap 1. Then we ran up into the stage, and now we are on the third caution of the took place here this it was Taylor Stout and RJ Root. So Taylor Stout and RJ Root getting themselves unfortunately involved in what we believe was netcode, Michael, don't we really?
Yeah, I think it looked like netcode. They were definitely 3 wide. They were definitely close. Stout did come down a little bit, but I don't think there was anything intentional there. I think it was more just there was definitely a gap when they touched, so I think there was some netcode involved there for sure. As we see, the lights are out on the pace car, so we will be coming green as soon as we get out of turn 4 here.
Go. Get ready, guys. Buckle in. 60 laps to go to the end of stage 2. And currently Robert Anderson leading us the way. He seems a bit of an old pro at this. And has done a stellar job. So let's see what Robert can do as the pace car is going to peel in. Is Robert going to bolt again? A longer hold this time. He's gone. Gone again. Completely caught out. Blake Giglio, who unfortunately dropped down the order into third place on that outside line. Delaney coming in there as well. In the 1-2-3, and it's Anderson, Miller, Delaney, Giglio, and Hicksonborough are all in that front pack currently at the moment. Anderson's not getting that opportunity to drop on the inside here, and I think if he's not careful, it could leave him hung out to dry.
Yeah, he definitely got hung out to dry there. As we see, Miller is up into first place. Delaney and Giglio fighting for second. They are nose to tail here, drafting each other. They both were up high there for a minute and were able to get down to the bottom. But that has definitely left Anderson out, and Anderson is down in the 10th place. He's up on the top line. He's just getting passed left and right. So that was a horrible, horrible first start there for Robert Anderson.
Yeah, he got pushed out. He kind of got bullied out and then just kind of got stuck out.
Yeah, no, definitely.
They're not coming in now to where I would expect him to be, I think, because I would expect him to be in there a lot closer in. The somebody else diving in, Taylor Stout diving. Nope, that's not Taylor Stout. Taylor Stout is somebody running around the apron on the inside. I'm surprised he couldn't work his way in, and it didn't look like, there was gaps, and there had been gaps. But he just hadn't brought the car over enough to put the gaps in, I suppose.
Yeah, honestly, it just looked like he wasn't comfortable enough to get down there. The door shut on him a little too quickly. But being pushed out there definitely, lost him quite a few spots. As now he's not even in the top 10 anymore.
Yeah, he's down in 13th. And he was in
Yeah,
first.
no, this is a huge loss there for him. Back up front, we see Miller taking away the lead. Giglio is up into second. Cam Stone down the inside here on Delaney. Cam Stone's going to get that job done. So Cam Stone up into third place. So John Delaney and Cam Stone, both of those drivers, starting way at the back of the field. 36 places for Cameron Stone, 34 places for John Delaney. Just moving through the field like nobody's business. Those drivers are just having a day and a half. It's exciting to see them. I will say I do miss Carlos tonight. I really wish Carlos was here. One of the best things that Carlos has is the Cam Stone in-car cam. The pedal cam that he has is just very interesting. I would love to see that here tonight with the way that he's kind of managing his pedals. But I love that camera angle that he has where it's straight down on Cam Stone's feet.
Yeah, unfortunately I cannot supply that this evening.
Yep, that's totally understandable. It's I think that's a Carlos special, but
yeah, I think that is.
Yeah, that is definitely an interesting view, and this would be a track that I'd really want to see it, just because you have to manipulate the throttle as much as you do in these corners, and that's definitely going to be a challenge for these drivers.
And
Let's let's go ahead and take a ride along. We haven't been in car too much tonight. Let's go ahead and take a ride around the track here with one of these drivers. As we see, we're right along here with Cam Stone. Coming out of turn 2, you see there is a bit of banking in the back straight, but nowhere near as much as in the turns here. Coming into turn 3, and he kind of has to let off the gas before he can really get back on it. And one of these things is you really have to save these tires coming into the turns. So it's not just full on bore and then just, trying to race through this corner. You really have to let off the gas early and kind of feather the throttle to get back onto it cleanly so you don't lose the rear end and you don't burn up the tires. As we see the 27 car, Russo, just going around the inside and dropping down to the going around the outside and dropping down to the inside. Up 2 positions there just with one move. That was a heck of a move there by Russo. I don't have a first name for Russo. Do you have a first name for Russo? I had a teacher in high school whose last name was Russo. I wonder if that was him.
That would be
He was a younger guy.
Andrew Russo.
Andrew Russo, there we go. Andrew Russo just making the move on the high side on Cameron Stone, coming down, cutting across the bottom, coming down to the bottom side of Miller. R. Miller is another one I don't have a first name for. Do you have a first name for that one? Let me see if I can.
Robert.
So we got Robert Miller, Andrew Russo, 2 drivers that are not in the championship but are making moves here. Russo up 28 positions, Miller up 17 spots, so they're definitely no slouches in their own rights. As we see Andrew Russo is on Giglio's tail up on the high side trying to get a move done to get up into first place. We ride along here and then we see his car on the outside coming around turn 2 into turn 1 into turn 2, I apologize, here into the back straight, and he's going to get the job done on the outside. So your new race leader, Andrew Russo.
Yeah, he's flying along quite nicely at the moment, up 29 spaces. 29
Yep.
blitz spaces from his grid start, and it's just kind of moved through the field, really, hasn't he? He's got about his business, kept the car where it needs to be, and it's just gone on and done the business. And I think that's one of the things that he's credited for, is not only is he up 29, but he's also in first place currently at the moment.
Yeah, in first place and absolutely crushing it. We see him just kind of starting to really get a nice lead there. He looks very comfortable out front. He looked comfortable in the mid-pack, and he looked comfortable making moves on these drivers. I mean, Cam Stone, Blake Giglio, these drivers are championship caliber drivers. Giglio is in the championship still. Cam Stone just got knocked out last week, so we know that these drivers are fast. So to see Andrew Russo just coming up out of nowhere like that and just blasting through the field, that's very impressive. It's nice to see.
Yeah, we've got John Delaney here currently in 5th place. Kind of got Matt Long and Bryson Hicksonborough all over the back of him currently at this moment in time. Lucas Hoitzma is in there in 8th, Tanner Martin 9th. Senna Martin's just lost a place to Roethlisberger. So Roethlisberger is now up into 9th place. We're on lap 119. They've kind of all settled down a little bit more. Had that, but basically on lap 1, then we ran out stage 1, and then we had another caution not so long ago. They really want to kind of be getting into a flow, and I think getting into a rhythm. Where does this stop-start kind of thing? Does it really disrupt you much, or kind of in a road series?
I don't think it would disrupt you as much as you would be in like a road series. You kind of get into a groove here on these oval tracks. You keep your head down, you push, but you kind of just take the laps off. Whereas on a road course, I think when you have full course cautions, it really just messes your head up a little bit, because you got to go through the entire course multiple times, not at speed. I think that alone, plus the fact that these drivers are able to kind of conserve their tires a little bit, helps them with their tire strategy. I think as far as that's concerned, these start stops, yeah, if we were seeing quite a few of them back to back, that would be a thing. But we've had quite a bit of green flag racing. I think these drivers are in the zone. I don't think that is really affecting them too much at this point. And if anything, it's really just giving them opportunities to save these tires, to conserve the tires.
Robert Anderson didn't hit. Still running 30.2. Got in now. Went in there, Michael. That's a little bit out of sync compared to where everybody else is at.
Yeah, that's quite a bit out of sync. Lucky for him, though, the draft isn't as strong here as it would be at a couple other places. So he doesn't necessarily need to be in the pits coming out with somebody. You'd always liked that, but he doesn't necessarily need that. But yeah, completely, he's going to be a lap down here. It's a very short track here, only 30 some odd seconds around. So he's definitely going to lose at least one lap, if not 2 laps, coming in under green like that, off balance with the rest of the field. So we'll have to see if maybe that's a strategy call to get closer towards the end here. That's going to set him up for a strong run coming into the second stage finish. So maybe that's what he's looking at, is about 35, 40 laps. About 40 laps from now.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how that one works out for Robert Anderson, and how he gets on. But Cam Stone is third currently, and they seem. They said it before, I think, where we touched on the fact the amount of lines that they could run around here, and it doesn't, from my own experience, of a one line all kind of tactic.
No, and even when they stay to the bottom, some drivers are sticking all the way down to the apron, where some drivers are kind of in the middle of that bottom lane. You see Cam Stone kind of making a little bit of an arch there. He's not quite, as he comes out, he gets out high, but he wasn't quite down on the bottom, but he wasn't quite in the middle lane there. It all depends on how you've set your car up, how you're conserving your tires, and how you're carrying your speed through the turns. Some of these drivers have it set up to where they can bleed off as much speed as coming into the turn and kind of get a slower acceleration out, and some of these drivers have the exact opposite, where they carry as much speed as they can into the turn and kind of bleed out and then lose a little bit on the corner exit. But it's really all in how you have the car set up and how you want to conserve your tires.
Yeah, we're just on car number 7, which is Rain Grass there as well, currently down in 15th place. Giglio has kind of made a move and is opening up a 1.5 second gap at the moment over the charging pack of Robert Miller. So, making moves up front, could we say?
Giglio definitely got that move done pretty quickly. As we see, Russo has fallen off back into 12th place. Not sure what happened with Russo there, but Giglio definitely just kind of running away with it. He got around him relatively easy there, and now he's just off to the races. Miller is not letting him get too far away. He's staying within touch with him, within reach. But that being said, Blake Giglio is out in front quite a bit, and he is looking really strong for this, going through this mid part of the stage here.
Yeah, because he kind of, 1.3 back to Miller in second place. So, opening up enough, isn't he, at the moment?
Yeah, Miller was 7 thousandths off the last lap, 31.58 for Blake Giglio. Miller threw a 31.51. We'll see what their lap times are coming around. So they're both running relatively the same pace lap times. So that's not going to help Miller with catching Giglio. Giglio is bleeding off a little bit of time, actually. Miller just ran another 31.51, and Giglio is down to the 31.6. So that was about a tenth that he gained on that lap alone. So maybe he is starting to catch up to him. But Giglio, like you said, does have an extreme large lead for, being out by himself there. 1/10 lead out in front all alone. No traffic in the near future. So, I mean, I don't see, unless Miller is really able to start ticking off these lap times. I think Giglio losing time again that lap time. So Giglio is starting to lose a little bit of speed here, slowly but surely.
Yeah, 31.67, 31.55. So Miller's about a 10 back currently over Giglio, pulling in a little bit of a time. The gap's come down to out under a second. So I can tell you that the gap has under a second. What happens here with Giglio when he does get pulled in, and whether or not he's going to, basically, I think he's just going to hold station, Michael. I think from Giglio's point of view, kind of all he needs to do.
Yeah, I mean, you want to get those stage points. It'd be nice to get a stage win. Definitely help you in the championship standings. Obviously, he wants to set himself up for a strong third stage. That the last 100 laps there is really what it's all for the marbles there. But yeah, Giglio just kind of running his own race. We see Miller is definitely cutting into that lead though. So Giglio just kind of wants to do his thing and stay out there, but he's going to have to really start to get after it here momentarily because he's really starting to bleed off time. Maybe he's going to have to come in early for a pit stop. He might not be able to go another 30 laps.
No, I don't know if anybody's 30 laps, because they went in at 102. Pretty much close to the field, and they're all in the 31s. That Roethlisberger's just hit the 32s. Preston McRae as well, 32.05. So they're all up time here, bud, and nobody is making gain as such. Trying to find Robert Anderson. Kind of coming in a bit, really hitting the 30.8. Everybody else is on 32, 31. So
he's on a different strategy. We know that. So this is going to start working it back into his favor. So that the offset pit stop right there, you know, maybe it's going to come into his favor here. He's going to be able to get towards the front of the field, have a strong car for the end of the stage, and then get a free pit stop. I guess that's the strategy there. It makes sense. That being said, these cars are going to be on fresh rubber for the last 25, 30 laps, so it's going to be a challenge for him to stay in front of these other cars as long as he's able to, you know, get his position back up front.
Do we think anybody's going to be able to get this car to the end?
No, I don't think so. I think Anderson is the only one that's going to be able to get to the stage finale without pitting. We see Miller is going down the inside here on Giglio. Giglio is definitely losing time here. Expect to see Giglio coming in soon.
But I don't think he's going to be alone. That's the thing.
No, he's not going to be alone. See John Delaney is back up there. Matt Long is back up there. Bryson Hixenbaugh and Lucas Hoytsma are 5 of our 8 championship leaders right there in the top 6. The only one that's not in the championship right now is our race leader, Robert Miller.
Kind of, I haven't seen Robert before in races. Oh.
I'm not too familiar with Robert, to be completely honest with you. He could definitely be there. We've had some very full fields, so it's not like I know I'm completely confident with every single driver in here, and I do know that there are drivers that come in week to week that, you know, aren't, you know, a stable driver per week. But as we see, John Delaney is all over Blake Giglio's bumper. Blake Giglio is really falling off here towards the end of this run, and these other cars look like, even though they're starting to lose a little bit of pace too, they are not losing as much as Blake Giglio is.
Giglio's out now into the 32.07s. They're still clutching the 31s. Delaney, one of them, 31.72. High line round there as well. So Delaney up 30 places where he started, and is now sitting in second place. But I don't know if they're going to be able to get 20 laps out of these tyres.
I mean, it's going to be asking quite a bit. You know, we've seen a couple drivers be able to go 60 laps, 58 laps, but you're asking quite a bit. Now, that being said, strategy-wise, they're going to need a long stint at some point, you know, to be able to conserve these tires. The tire sets are limited, obviously, so at some point, these drivers are going to have to long stint. That being said, is it now? Do you really want a long stint coming in, you know, with 20 laps, 25 laps to go in the second stage? Or would you rather push that towards the third stage, get your free pit stop here coming up, and then, you know, conserve towards the end? I don't know. It really depends on their strategy here. As we see, John Delaney is just getting quicker and quicker on these longer runs. Not necessarily lap time, but just the fact that he's able to hold on to that car longer than a lot of these other drivers are. Matt Long, another one, kind of working against what I was saying earlier. Generally see him having a really strong short run pace and kind of falling off towards the end of runs. Tonight he's having a bit of the opposite. Matt Long, you know, really running really strong longer runs here, so it's definitely very solid run here for both of those drivers.
Looks like hopefully we might be able to get to here at the end of this stage. Bryson Hickborough here as well, currently in 4th place. Got Lucas Hoytsma, and then we've got a few cars behind Hoytsma, all chasing after, trying to get it up in Bryson Hickborough. Got Lucas Hoytsma, Blake Giglio, Jason Taylor, Cam Stone, Van der Stan, Sean O'Brien and Kevin Steele, and that's 10 people that were there. So, you know, that is your current top 10 at the moment, and well, that's some very quick drivers in it, and some unbelievable place gains from Cam Stone, John Delaney, Bryson Hickborough as well. So Alex Van der Zan, no slouches there, Michael.
No, not at all. You see this top set here, Alex Van der Sant. We saw him very strong last week at the Roval, so we know he's got pace. Cam Stone starting all the way in the back, the very, very, very last car in the back of the field. But he's all the way up into 8th place. You know, Jason Taylor started up towards the front of the field. He's lost a couple positions throughout the evening, but still running in the top 10. Still a solid run by him. Blake Giglio is running up front there for a long time. We know he's got pace, so there's definitely quite a few very, very, very strong drivers up here. Even O'Brien. O'Brien was in the championship race up until, I want to say, last week. So, you know, this top 10 is just got so many strong drivers. I do expect... I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen any of them coming into the pits yet, though.
Maybe they are trying to extend it to the stage. That's the only real thing I can think of is they're trying to extend it out to the next stage at 165, but still 19 laps off. That seems to be a long way.
It seems to be a long way, but the closer and closer we get, it seems to be more and more of the strategy these guys are working on. If you're losing speed, everybody else around you is losing speed. So, I mean, I guess we're just going to wait until we see a guinea pig kind of jump ship, or if these guys are all going to just go ahead and say, you know what, let's push it out. We need to push one of our stints out anyways to conserve a set. We're limited on sets, and we're going to get this degradation here today. So let's go ahead and make that choice now. Let's push it out. We're less than 20 laps to go, so I guess at this point it'd be kind of pointless to really come down the pit road under green. You know, you'd rather just kind of hold out for a free pit stop.
Yeah, I think that's the best way. Rob Stone, Cam Stone, go 57. How you been doing, fellas? We've been all right, mate. Not too bad at all this evening. But Cam is there still within the race in 11 currently, and is going along very nicely, Robert. Very nicely indeed.
Yeah, Cam Stone starting at the very back of the pack. We've seen him up in the top 3 positions. I think he even led a lap there during one of the green flag pit stops. So Cam Stone definitely having a very strong run. Unfortunate that he wasn't able to make the final 8, but still showing he's got the pace. He's a previous championship winner and showing exactly why that's the case here tonight.
Yeah, I think doing an absolute stellar job. Another one who benefited from that first lap kind of, and really, Stoney's up 29. So, you know, there was quite a few cars involved in that. I think like 10 cars. Devin Medeiros was there as well. Baker. Well, there was lots of probably more of a who's who that wasn't, to be honest. So there
Yeah,
we go.
honestly, that took out quite a few cars in the back of the midfield there, so quite a bit going on. But luckily, we've been able to stay clean for the most part. We did have the RJ Root incident. Unfortunately, him and Stout getting a little close there, a little bit of net code, and that is the last thing RJ Root wanted to see. But good thing for RJ Root, up in the 18th spot, so his race isn't ruined just quite yet. See here momentarily, RJ Root's still on the lead lap, so we know he's got pace. We know he's going to be dealing with some damage, but you know his race isn't over yet. He's just kind of, you know, we saw him really moving up through the field right before that incident happened. We were actually just discussing it, but we know he's got the pace to get back up front. So hopefully he's able to keep a clean race and he's able to make that strategy work for him, and possibly even work his way back into the top 10. I would say that a race victory is probably a little bit out of reach, especially with all that damage, but definitely a chance and opportunity to complete this race with a strong finish.
Yeah, I think that's got to be his main prerogative now, is just basically try and finish the race and do it under his own terms. But, well, because that would be always good if he'd done it on his own terms. But we'll just have to see. We've got 7. Brain's gone dead. 12 laps to go till the end of stage 2, and we are on for the straight sprint to the end of the race. 102 laps sprint, basically to the end of the race there, Michael. That's going to be a very exciting stage 3.
Yeah, the racing that we've seen so far has just been phenomenal. So as long as we stay green for that stage 3, we're going to see a little bit of everything. We're going to see 2 wides, we're going to see 3 wides, we're going to see green flag pit stops, we're going to see strategy coming out. You're going to see these drivers making some very questionable calls to try to work their magic and get up towards the front towards the end of that stage. But right now they got 10 laps to go in this stage, so everything is all about the moment.
Important thing here is basically keep this car going forward. 10 laps to go. They're obviously all going for stage pits, and I think basically that hits. And as soon as they're able, I don't think there's left out on track.
No, there's nobody that's going to be able to. These guys, their tires have got to be so destroyed right now, and they're just making it work. They're just working these cars, trying to keep them, you know, down on that racing line, keep them off the apron, keep them out of the wall, keeping their heads down. But, you know, they're starting to really get stretched out here as they try to really save and conserve these tires. We see John Delaney up in the first place here. We saw him make that move on Miller a few laps ago, and he's just kind of going on with it. So the last thing that anybody really wants to see in these championship final 8 is for this man right here to come all the way back from the back of the pack, up 37 positions to get a stage win. But right now he's on track just for that. We see that Anderson, I think Anderson is a lap down though. So
Yep.
Robert Anderson, his strategy is not quite working out for him. I think he was planning on a bunch of other drivers coming into the pits. He's definitely going to be stronger faster than these drivers. He's going to get that lap back, but his strategy for trying to be stronger at the end of the stage kind of backfired on him, as nobody else has pitted in the top 10. So unfortunate strategy call there for Robert Anderson, but it was a strategy call that he felt he needed to make. It was working out for him for a while. He was up in the lead, so we'll just have to see what happens here. But right now, it's not quite working out for him.
Yeah, no, not working out at all currently at the moment in time for Robert Anderson. And it's going to be interesting how we can develop this as the race goes on. Kind of settles back in to where everybody else is, really, Michael. I think that's the choice. What keeps running funky pit stop strategy? Sees what happens.
Yeah, well, some of these drivers are going to make some bold decisions. It's going to work for some. It's going to backfire for others. But that's just part of the game. That's part of the strategy here. That's part of racing. Sometimes you just got to roll the dice. I mean, we are in Vegas.
Doesn't mean you roll the dice and you get yourself bankrupt, though, does it?
No, but I'm just saying. Somebody's going to gamble here. It ain't going to be me. We already discussed that. My wife took my wallet away from me.
Yeah. I think we're all in the same boat there, but I really do not think that we're alone on this one.
Well, the funny thing is, she loves to play the slots. So when she's stealing my wallet, she's stealing it so she can go gamble. And I'm just sitting on the sides, just wishing I was at a poker table.
Yeah. Sounds about fair to me. Every time I go to a casino, I always come out and I miss always one. And
yeah, hey, it is what it is.
there's no thought process in it. Just, I like the look of that number. All right, then. They put it on the roulette table. You know what I mean? Go for your life. So, yeah. 161 stage coming 4 laps time. Matt Long, Robert Miller, Jonathan Delaney are currently your top 3, with Jason Taylor and Bryson Hicks rounded out the top 5. So, yeah, not ideal that Delaney's out in front, I think.
No, but Matt Long has had a very strong race as well, so he's going to be running here up into the second place right now. Definitely a strong race for him, so definitely a lot less of a worry for him tonight.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing for Matt. He's just got to be now. Try and keep out of any race. If he finishes his race where he is, that will help him a long way in the standings.
Well, that's how all these drivers have gotten here. Obviously, John Delaney has just won so many races this season. It's not even funny. Aside from that, though, a lot of these other top 8 drivers have just been steady and consistent, always working their way up towards the front of the field and just being there when they need to be there. We see, Matt Long just consistently in the top 5. Bryson Hicksonball always up there. Lucas Hoytsma, you're always talking about him. RJ Root obviously had that issue earlier, but always in the conversation in the top 10. Always in the conversation for a chance for an opportunity to win. These guys are just so consistent every single week. It's extremely impressive, and you love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. The last thing you want to see, guys, is kind of an up and down season where they sit here and say, very up and down for these guys. And at the end of the day, they haven't been like that. 2 of them that's probably had one of them. But most of them have been in that kids where we're constantly and around the top 20, if not in the top 3.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been a very consistent season as we're coming around here. We're on lap 165, so we will be seeing that stage finish here momentarily. Looks like John Delaney is going to take that stage victory. So solid stage points for John Delaney as we come into the caution. Matt Long looks like, did he lose that place before he came across the line? We'll have to check on that momentarily, but as it stands, John Delaney starting all the way from the one of the back rows, and it does look like Taylor is just about able to nudge him out. Yeah, he does. That, my friend, is a photo finish. But Jonathan Taylor just edging out Matt Long for second place. Matt, that's got to be a little frustrating. Still solid stage points, but you really wanted that second place there, if not a victory. Hicksonball coming in 4th, Hoytsma in 5th. So now we're going to see these cars all drop down in the pit lane, get some fresh rubber, and this is where the strategy calls come into play. This is where the crew chiefs make their money. The strategy guy down there with his iPad or his pens and calculators, just working on the numbers, just crunching the numbers, the jobs that I would never be able to do because I cannot math.
I think get the Eau Clay on that pit lane. go. Everybody's no holding back.
My buddy always likes to say,
Oh,
oh, John Delaney getting a little long on his pit box there. That's definitely going to cause an issue for him. Definitely don't want to see that missing your pit box, especially as long as he's got. He started towards the back, so the pit box is going to be right there as soon as you come in. But now he's got to go all the way down the pit road. He's going to lose some spots because of that mistake. Unfortunate for him.
as well. Jeffrey Dozer is currently out in front, out of sync on laps, hitting 104. So I'm surprised he hasn't come in already. To be
Yeah, I think I would take advantage of these free pit stops. They do still have another opportunity here, but I think I'm always one for taking advantage of a free pit stop whenever I have the opportunity.
I think you're
We'll see
right.
here.
Right, if any, kind of make the most of it. They are just getting on currently 165 at the end of the portion. So now we go into the fun bit. Great sprint, end of the race, and well, how do you think it's going to work out?
Well, we've seen a very strong run here by John Delaney. Matt Long has also been very consistent. I think it looks like he's going to be starting on pole for this final stint. Lucas Hoitzma, we saw him very strong at the very beginning of the race. Kind of fell back a little bit, but he's working his way back up there. Looks like Robert Anderson, I think Robert Anderson came back down the pit, so Robert Anderson should be feeding back in someplace in the midfield. Bryson Higginball, we haven't talked too much about Bryson tonight. We've mentioned him once or twice, but he is just one of those drivers that's, been really consistent, steady Eddie, as if you will. We haven't talked too much about him just because he's just been quietly just having a very solid race. He's not making any waves. He's just driving clean, up in the top 10, up in the top 5, up in the top 10, just staying consistent. He's definitely got an opportunity here to quietly, show his nose up in the front here, and if he can get a good start, I'd like to see what he would be able to do in fresh air.
Yeah, I think that's Bryson. He's got to be able to sort of really turn all the hard work in kind of a good finish. Have any from here really to face, he really kind of get the job done and away with a nice points to go in round with.
Yeah, you definitely always want to finish strong. Always want to carry points over. Right now, Bryson Higginball is second place, 16 points above the cut line. So that's just been consistency coming from Bryson there, and he's just showing it more and more this evening. You'd like to see, a little bit more, but you can't really ask for too much more than second place in the championship points. Race one in the final round of 8. So, can't really be. He's definitely got to be happy with himself so far this season.
Oh yeah, bar and still got to be up.
Oh, for sure.
Eye on Matt Long. Are very, very quickly up.
Yeah, the lights are still on that pace car. I think we're going to be coming around, and the lights should be turning off this lap around. We've seen our full round of pit stops. We have our grid set and ready to go. We will be coming around a little less than 100 laps left in this race. So this is going to be for all the marbles, the final stage, stage 3.
Absolutely. Baker's hits of kind of strategy right at the beginning.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him. Ralph Hutchison really, 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 really unfortunate getting involved in that incident and just not having an opportunity. Like to see, the fact that he's stayed in this race and consistent, but it just your heart breaks for a guy like that up in the championship final 8 and just no opportunity to move forward. A little surprised to see Blake Giglio all the way back in 25th right now, so we'll have to see what happens with him. But you don't want to see him starting that far back as the lights are off on the pace car.
So guys, underway very, very shortly. Lap 171. Great sprint now to 267. Less than 100 laps to go. Two.
We'll see that pit car or pace car, Ford Mustang pace car, peel off here in just a second. There it goes. So now the field is under Matt Long's control. He comes to the Geico restart zone. He's off. He waited until the very last moment, and he has gotten away quite a nice little lead there. You see Hoytsma falling into second place, and Delaney is popping in a third. So yeah, that was a clean start there so far, and a good start for Matt Long. We'll see if he's able to continue this run.
Robert, who qualified fastest was Robert Anderson. Oh.
Trying to remember back. I believe you were correct. I believe it was Robert Anderson that took pole.
Oh no, it wasn't Anderson. Wasn't it? It was Hoytsma. Anderson.
Oh, yeah, Lucas Hoytsma. Yes, that is correct.
Hoytsma first. Anderson.
Hoytsma back into the lead just as you were saying that. So here you go, Lucas Hoytsma. Having a strong run here. He started up front. Did fall back a little bit towards the middle part of that first run there after that first caution we had, but he has been steady. He has been, keeping his head down. Spent a lot of time running in traffic, but we've seen once he gets some clean air, he's got a very fast car. So see what happens here. A little surprised that Matt Long gave that position up as quickly as he did, but that might also have a lot to do with the setup of these cars. Kind of flipped on me tonight. Matt Long having the better of a longer run car. Like I said, usually from my experience watching Matt Long, he seems like he's more confident with the shorter runs, faster with the shorter runs, and his car falls off a little bit towards the longer runs tonight. Complete opposite. He's been having steady short runs, but that car is really coming to him really strong towards the middle and end of these green flag runs.
I think there for Matt Long, he's just got to kind of stay with Hoytsma now and kind of really not put him under pressure, but just know you're still there. But let him know he's still there, isn't he?
Yeah, he's definitely got to be just there. Like you said, this is going to be a very long sprint here. As long as we stay under green flags, we're going to have to go under some yellow flag or under some green flag pit stops. So there's going to be a lot of strategy involved here. It's going to be all about who saved their tire sets, who's going to be able to make this first stint run as long as possible, because that's really the kicker. If you can run this first stint and we stay under green, if you can run this first stint 60 laps out, like we've seen a few cars do, and you take a late pit stop, but you do it in an opportunity where you're not falling too far behind on that late run. So I think the golden era here is probably around lap 55. Try to get to lap 55. Conserve your tires as much as possible. And I don't think that's going to get you. Well, that should get you all the way to the end. Yeah, you should have some solid rubber to get you towards the end. So I think that's what a lot of these drivers are going to do. They're going to try to push this stint out as long as they can. That's what I would do at this point.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's the only option that you really have. You have to make a pit stop. You can't go all the way, obviously. So what I would do is I would just, if you have to make, I mean, unless you want to make a second pit stop under green, which I don't think that that's a great option. I don't think that's really an option at all for any one of these top four drivers, all in the championship points here. I don't think any of them have that card up their sleeve. I think it's just who's able to stick it out the longest without losing too much time on their laps, and then have the freshest rubber towards the end of the race. That's what it's all about. We know that tire sets are going to be an issue. Um, Now, hopefully, these guys are all going to be, saving at least one, if not two sets. But it's all about this run right here. It's all about how long can you get this run. Now, if we get a caution flag here someplace early in this run, that's going to throw everything up into a blender. That's going to be making a margarita. You're just not going to know. That's going to throw the strategy out the window. So as long as we stay green, these drivers are going to be pushing these stints out as long as they possibly can, just to have that little bit fresher rubber towards the end of the race to give them that little bit more of an advantage.
Okay, so who do we think here? If I said to you now, right, put a name on who you think is going to win. Where's your money going?
Delaney. Before the race, I said Giglio. Giglio's fallen back to 21st spot now. I'm not really sure what happened to him. He had a strong run going. I'm a little surprised by that. Giglio was my man before the race, but we've just seen John Delaney come from the very back of the. I can't stop saying it. He came from the very back of the field. He's up 33 spots right now, 32 spots. He's in the top 5. He's got a long run car. He won stage 2. I mean, I think if I had to put money down, I think I would not feel comfortable putting money on anybody but him.
Okay. Delaney is the man of choice for Michael, and to be honest, I can't see much past Delaney, but I can maybe Matt Long having a go.
Matt Long is definitely a strong option here. I don't want to talk bad about Matt Long. He's had great long runs as well. That's for sure.
Definitely Matt Long as an option, but it is tough to see past Delaney. Got to be honest.
See, Lucas Hoisma, some of y'all on chat watching might be asking, well, Lucas Hoisma's out front right now. He started on pole. Why isn't he your choice? Well, we've seen Lucas Hoisma get out front and have a fast car, but we've seen that car kind of tail off a bit towards the middle of these runs, and he's able to stick into the top 10, but not really able to really push that car out on these longer runs. That's kind of why I would shy away a little bit from Lucas Hoisma. I think he's going to have a strong finish here, but I think I have to lean towards Matt Long or John Delaney here.
Matt Long is doubt of what he's done. Absolutely amazing. There's a yellow flag.
Oh, and that's going to change everything. So why don't you go ahead and let us know out there in chat. Biggles, what's up, buddy? Let us know out in chat who you guys think is going to finish up here. Where you think Delaney's going to finish, who you think is going to win this race. And give us a vote for who you think your driver of the day so far has been.
Oh. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but I didn't really catch that.
I don't think it was necessarily Sean O'Brien who started that.
Yeah, I think it happened ahead of him.
It was Sean O'Brien that went off, but
yeah, he went off track, but he wasn't involved in the incident. He was just avoiding the incident. That incident happened a few cars up from him. Let's see if we can get a different angle here. Oh, there we go, right there. No, it wasn't Souza.
Was that? I think that was, and he's not.
I have to get another look here. There it is. There's the car right in the middle of their field there.
Jason Baker.
No,
No.
it's a little higher up.
No. No, it was a little bit higher, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. We'll get this sorted out here momentarily. We'll figure out what happened.
I can find out who that was. Yeah, but it wasn't Sosa that did it.
No, it wasn't Sosa. Those two cars were just trying to avoid the carnage. Had to go down into the grass. Lucky to keep it under control in doing so. No. It wasn't Demarius. It wasn't Van der Zant. It's a few cars up from there. It's right next to Robert Anderson.
It's where Robert Anderson really started that off, I think.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get a replay from Robert Anderson there.
Just
Adam Benefiel saying the 83 is going to win.
29.
Calling his own shots. We got Adam Benefiel out there calling his own shots in the chat.
I think, yeah. Anna Marty and Robert Anderson.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there it is. Got a little bit of a love tap there and spun around.
Anna Marty and Robert Anderson caused that problem. That was unfortunate. That was a bit of a good run.
Yeah, no, that was a solid run here. I don't think any of our leaders came in, though.
Yo, Biggles, what up? Not sure why you're away. Adam's driving and writing. Fair play to.
Yep. No, 83 calling his own shots there.
Yep. Strong on there. Don't forget, guys, the link for that is down in. Oh, that is a GoFundMe page set up for one of the drivers currently in Kansas can go and donate down on. That is strong. Strong. And go and have a look down there. Below. That 57 going to bring it home. He's sandbagging. Now, I think Camstone's going to get it.
I mean, he started very last.
I'm not
He's up in ninth place.
That is not a possibility. I'm nowhere
near. Is that a strong run?
Yeah, exactly. I just past Matt Long at the moment.
Yeah, I think you can't see past Matt Long. I think it's John Delaney. I mean,
well, they're side by side currently.
See, the lights are out on that Ford Mustang GT, so we will be coming racing here momentarily.
Okay, guys, buckle up for 76 laps. 77 laps remaining. 07 going to win this. Hoytsma. Oh, this is going to get spicy. Everybody different. Gotta know when he's to hold them. Yeah. Matt Long, Delaney, Hoytsma, Camstone. They've been the votes so far. Now, which one pans out as we come in the last 77 laps, guys. Don't go anywhere. You better make it quick, and it only better be for a short minute, because trust me, this is going off very, very shortly. Last 77 laps. Can they make that last pit stop their last pit stop?
I think so, especially with the fact that they got these laps under caution, able to conserve the tires a little bit. They're going to be able to push it a little bit further. If they can make it to about, lap 15, lap 20 here, yeah, no doubt in my mind. The question is, how far are they going to be able to get it out? You see Hoytsma getting a strong jump there. Matt Long out into second place. Taylor is under pressure here, and Hicksonball down to the bottom. Looks like Bryson Hicksonball is going to take third place John Delaney in the middle there, getting a little loose, 3 wide. Able to hold on to it, though, so I think we're going to be good there. Nice, clean start. But John Delaney having not the greatest start from the leaders here.
Yeah,
Back into 6th place.
Delaney was sliding there.
Lucky he was able to serve that, yeah. Right there in the middle of that pack, too, so that would have been a real big one there.
Touchwood. Got rid of our big one at the beginning.
Yeah, thankfully for that. But yeah, no, that caution that we just had is definitely going to help conserve tires. So they should be able to push this stint out a little bit longer. So we should see some very fresh rubber coming towards the end of the race. So that's going to make things quite interesting as we come towards the end here. Lucas Hoytsma out there in front, Matt Long in second, Bryson Hixenbog in third. We got Dalton Mobley. What's that?
Adam Benefield is still chatting, or somebody's got his account here. There's the 57 car, which is obviously his Amstone, all washed up.
We're getting a little driver smack top here. Adam Benefield calling out Cam Stone.
Yeah, but I don't know if Adam is actually doing it or somebody's got hold of Adam Benefield.
Maybe he's got a third arm. He can drive with 3 arms.
Maybe it's either
Drive
that
with
or
2 arms
it's,
there for the third.
that text to talk thing.
Oh, it could be that. Yeah, I'm afraid to use that. I have a hard enough time as it is when it comes to. Yeah, let's just say that autocorrect doesn't like me. We'll just leave it there.
Yeah, no, I've had that as well, mate. So definitely had that.
Let's just say that I'm lucky to be with my fiance because one of our first conversations did not go so swimmingly because of autocorrect. So, yeah, that's another time and another place, but not for this conversation here.
I can imagine sat near you, glaring at you about now, going, "Don't think of it."
I mean, she thought it was funny, thankfully, but it could have gone the wrong way, so that's for sure. But back to the action on track. We see John Delaney falling back into 7th place now. Robert Anderson, that strange pit stop, not hurting him as much anymore. He's up into the top 10 again, up into 7th. He got his lap back, and he is just cruising along here.
Yeah, I think well with the caution. I think he managed to get back onto the lap that he could be. Kind of put himself back in sync with everybody else, and that was the most important thing, is he had to get in with the rest of the field, and I think he did that the last couple of cautions as well. So that's almost benefited him, really. He's done a stellar job at the moment.
Yeah, we saw him out in the front of the pack for quite a bit earlier on. I'm a little surprised. The driver that I called out, John Delaney, just keeps falling back and falling back. I'm not sure if this is part of conservation of those tires or if he's just losing pace for whatever reason, but I'm a little surprised there. Is Dalton Mobley up into 2nd place here. Strong run here for Dalton Mobley, up 30 positions so far.
Don't forget as well, Dalton was trying to get a lap back, wasn't he? Well,
I believe he was, yeah.
So now in 2nd, in Hoytsma. Gotta admit, Dalton Mobley's doing an absolute stellar job as he is currently at the moment.
Oh yeah, and not just behind him, but putting the pressure on him. Taking a little bit wider of a line here through turns 3 and 4. Oh, I'm sorry, that was turn 1 and 2. I'll do the back straight, coming into 3. And yep, he does seem to like the middle line here. Hoytsma sticking to the bottom, kind of coming up a little bit, able to carry some strong speed out of the corner. But yeah, Dalton Mobley is all over the tail here. He's got a strong draft right now. We know the draft isn't the strongest here at this track. That being said, if you can get up behind another car, it's still going to be a strong draft. You know, it's still going to help you.
Any draft is going to be better than no draft. That's the most important thing for these drivers. They've got to realise that getting a little bit is still going to be better getting nothing. You know? And at the end of the day, if Dalton can hold this 2nd position, Well, no, because he's lost. Obviously, Long's just gone past. So yeah, bit of a shame.
I'm gonna start saying that this is where Matt Long has started to come into play here on these longer runs, starting to catch up a little bit to Lucas Hoytsma, getting into that draft and see if he's able to close down. He's about half a second back as it stands, about 4/10, about half a second. We'll see what kind of line he's able to take and see what kind of gain he's able to make on the back stretch, but this is where we kind of see Matt Long starting to get a little stronger in these runs.
What do we think here? What do we think is happening here?
I think it's conservation. I think he's just saving some tires. I mean, Jonathan Delaney, we know he's got the pace. He doesn't just fall off a cliff like that generally, so unless he pushed way too hard on those tires, I think right now he's just trying to conserve so he can push as long as he can to get some fresh rubber at the end and give himself an advantage. I think this is all part of the strategy.
Well, I hope you're right, because he has dropped off quite a bit. Bit of a shame, but he's had such a strong race. I think to be able to drop now all the way down in 9th place, bit of a pill to swallow, I think. I'm sure he'll probably try and make it back up. Still got 63 laps to go, mind you, so it's not like he's got 2 or 3 laps to go, but
yeah, but we should only have one more pit stop to go, so that's going to be the kicker. Where are you able to take that pit stop? As we see, Adam Benefield is under pressure here. He's in 10th place right now. He called his own shots. He's under pressure from Cam Stone. So Adam Benefield, you said he's washed up. You got him all over your tail. This is your time to shine. You called the race win. You said that Cam Stone was nothing. What you got? Let's see what you got, Adam.
Yeah, that's the thing. From his point of view, what can he actually do? He can't swerve all over the track. He hasn't got a hairpin to try and defend again. He hasn't got a swooping, right-hander that goes into a left Essex. Got nothing to defend against Cam Stone with.
Just got to throw a strong block. Another driver that's surprised to see he was back in the 20s. Back up in the 12th place, my original driver that I called from the beginning of the race, Blake Giglio, just outside of the top 10.
Yeah, running that very high line there as well is Blake, behind Cam Stone.
Yeah, but that high line looks like it's got some speed as he comes down. Looks like so far he's going to get the job done on the outside. And there it is, move done. Blake Giglio in the 11th place, just past Cam Stone.
So you're still sticking with Delaney?
I think I have to.
Yeah, I think you have to as well. Only fair.
Yeah, I think so.
Down your necks, Robert Stone and you. Yeah, that was Cam Stone there and Anna Benefield. So
momentarily, but Giglio is coming up, and Benefield getting up into 9th place past Souza. See, Dalton Mobley has fallen back a little bit. He was up in the 2nd place, and now he's back into 8th place. John Delaney up into 7th, up into 6th place, getting the move done. He's racing right now with Bryson Hicksonbaugh. Championship racers, 2 of them right there. Blake Giglio up into the top 10.
Yeah.
On run here.
Done well back Giglio since he got all the way down the order. He was down in 25th.
Yeah, no, he fell back quite a bit. Now this is where, our lap times are starting to get into the mid-31s here. Low to mid-31s. How long are you able to stay out on these tires? How long are you able to risk it on these tires?
Well,
do you want to get it down to the middle? I think you want to get to the lap 115, maybe 117, maybe into the 20s. I don't know if you can stretch it that long. But the longer you can stretch this run, the better chances you're going to have for a fast car at the end of the race.
Yeah. Most of them went in at 187. But they're only 22 laps old at the moment.
Okay. I thought that was a lot longer than that.
187.
Oh. I see a car getting wide there. 3 wide in the back stretch.
187. So barely got.
Oh, they really are going to be able to stretch these times out then. I
No, but that's
thought,
what I said to you. Are they going to be able to go to the end, like completely without stopping? And you went, yeah.
no, 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 no. I think I'm confused here. I thought the last time they stopped, I thought a lot of these leaders didn't come in on the pit stop or on the caution. I thought they all stayed out.
No. No, no, no.
Yeah, pit lap 187. You're correct. I must have missed something there. I could have sworn that they all came in at the end of the stage, and that was the last time they were in. So yeah,
They all went in
187.
187.
Yeah. So that is definitely on me. That is going to change the story here quite a bit. Yeah. So my mistake, everybody. I thought that they had all stayed out there. So
But what
Matt
do we
Long
reckon
up in the
now?
first
Then?
place.
Are they
Wow,
going to be able to get to the end of the race? Do you think?
I still think they need to make a pit stop.
Still
I'm
reckon?
doing a little bit of I'm trying to do a little bit of math in my head. I still reckon a pit stop is someplace in the cards. You know, they're in the 130. They're in the 31s right now. They're going to be falling off into the 32s here in probably the next 10, 15 laps. I mean, I think you're going to see a couple people try to stretch it, but if it was me, if I was Blake Giglio, if I was John Delaney, man, that's a tough decision right now. That's a really tough decision.
Well, why we let Michael crunch them?
Yeah, I mean, on a scale of 1 to even, I can't even right now.
Don't forget, guys, as well, if you are here and you have enjoyed tonight's race, please give it a thumbs up if you are watching live. Or if you're watching it back as well, give it a thumbs up as well for me. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bells for notifications, because you don't want to miss next race. Next race is going to be absolute massive. So that's from the Homestead Miami circuit as well. And then we've got Martinsville, which will be rounding out round of 8. Yeah, next, Homestead Miami being interesting.
Yeah, Homestead's a great track. Should be quite a bit of solid racing there. Should be a classic, like you said. Really excited for next week. But before we get to next week, we need to finish up here. Tonight, we've had quite a bit of green flag racing, a couple cautions. But for the most part, it's been very clean here at Las Vegas. I'm very excited for that. Matt Long out there having a strong run here. We see Miller coming back. Taylor's moved up. Delaney is coming back in the top 5. So I definitely think there's at least one more pit stop to go. I think going 80 laps is just too much to ask for. So I think, you know, with sometime in the next 20 laps, you're going to see some of these cars diving down. I think 80 laps is just too much.
All right. And if they don't, they're still running 31s, mind you.
Yeah.
If they were running 33s, I would be a little bit worried. They're only running 31s, and everybody's running 31s for their last laps.
Yeah, no, that's true. But I think someplace in the next 20 laps, you're going to start seeing cars dive down. Because you want to do it while you still have time to take advantage of it. You know, if you go under green flag, you're probably going to go down at least a lap at some point. So you want to be able to be on that fresher rubber to get your lap back and then take advantage of it at the end. So I don't think these drivers are really going to push it past 230, 235 at the most. Maybe into 240, but I think even that's going to be too close to the end. I think around lap 230, 235, you'll see most of these cars in the top 10 have come in. See Cameron Stone up into 10th place. Blake Giglio in 9th place. Adam Benefield up in 8th. Bryson Hicksonball in 7th. Lucas Hoitzman in 6th. So we saw a car dropping down there.
Gaskin.
Oh, Gaskins, okay.
There's your winner on screen.
Jeffrey Souza. Why did he say that?
Why do I say that? He hasn't got a pit again. Pitted on lap 213. Look, that extended. Only 7 laps old.
Yeah, that's going to be some strong, fresh rubber. Now, he does have quite a bit of damage on the inside of that car, so
Yep.
that's going to be affecting his lap times.
But
But
they're going over a second and a half quicker currently than the guys in front. It's on 30.45s. So, you know, I think they're all thereabouts, I think.
yep, RJ Root up in the 12th place. Nice to see RJ Root bouncing back. Hopefully RJ is going to be able to make a top 10 appearance here, so he's not going to be able to, or not going to really lose out too much. Obviously, he wants to be a little further up the field, but could have been an absolute disaster for RJ Root. So a solid recovery here, and that was a very brave move down the inside for Souza. That door looked like it was closing the whole time. He has just got so much. Yeah. The pace is just phenomenal. Just beyond everybody else.
Can we get some live cams on the drivers? I haven't, unfortunately, got that ability at this moment in time, youngster. I do apologise about that, but at the moment I'm watching. Oh!
That's very brave from Souza, but I mean, he's got the pace. He's that much faster than everybody in the field, but he's got to be able to safely navigate this field, and some of these cars aren't going to be expecting a car to come up behind him that quickly.
I think that's going to be the thing.
There's Hixenbaugh right behind Robert Anderson. Anderson, a previous leader in this race. Both of these drivers trying to catch that lead pack there. You see 4 cars bunched up. Taylor has come up into the lead, but I'm not sure that that's really truly representative. We'll see here as they come around, because those 4 cars, yeah, that was awful close from Miller and Delaney there. That was awfully close. Matt Long getting up close there on the bumper of Taylor. Matt Long trying to make a move on the outside. Delaney, is he going to follow him around? No, he's going to stick to the bottom. Matt Long's going to back off a little bit. These cars are starting to get a little loose in these corner exits here. Seeing a couple cars get a little bit of a tail shake. You see Matt Long trying the inside this time. Not able to make it work on Jason Taylor. He's actually going to lose a little bit of space there. John Delaney getting pushed up a little high from Robert Miller. Delaney and Miller battling for that 3rd spot. We saw Delaney fall back quite a bit, but like I said earlier, I think he was just conserving those tires because he's starting to come on strong. Him and Matt Long both have really good long run pace. Jason Taylor, though, out to a 4/10 gap right now on Matt Long.
Yeah.
RJ Root up into 8th place.
I'm waiting for the cycle. I want to. Where this man is going to come out here.
Did Bryson Hixenbaugh come into the pits?
Yep.
Okay, so that's going to be your first of the top 10 coming in the pits. So this is going to be, right around, like I said, lap 30, lap 35. You don't want to do it too late because you want to have an opportunity to really use that fresh rubber. You're probably going to go down a lap, but you want an opportunity to not only get that lap back, but to take advantage of that fresh rubber.
Look at those here, just absolutely flying. Past Adam Benefield, he's past Bryson Hickborough.
Yeah, just putting in the laps like nobody's business. 30.27 is his fastest. That last lap was a 31.98, but that was probably more to do. Yeah, that was a 31.16. The 31.98, 32 was probably more to do with the fact that he's just dealing with traffic. Now that, unfortunately, is going to hurt his tires quite a bit. So he does have a strong pace right here, but dealing with all the traffic that he's had to deal with, he's not able to take the lines that he wants, so he's not able to conserve the rubber like he would want to. And now that we see these cars coming down pit road, he's going to start losing that advantage. So he's really got to take advantage of it right now while he can.
Oh, Matt
up
Long,
into 11th place.
Matt Long's down into 13th as well.
Did Matt Long come into the pits?
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. Yeah, we see on my timing screen, everything's kind of jumping around a little bit, so it's kind of hard for me to tell. Taylor's in the pits. So Delaney out front, Giglio in second place, Hoytsma in third place, RJ Root up in the fourth place, but unfortunately for RJ Root, I don't think that is going to stand that way because he was quite a ways back. He was in 12th place, so look for him to try to force his way back up into the top 10, but I don't think he's going to be as far up as he's currently sitting right now. Looks like Adam Benefield. I don't think Adam Benefield pitted, Robert. Let me check here.
Benefield? Yeah, he pitted on 220.
Yep, he did pit. You were right. So he's going to have fresh tires. Cam Stone. Looking at Cam Stone at 187. So Cam Stone still needs to come in the pit.
Sosa is now up in 10th.
Yeah, this has just been a strong one.
Stopping.
I think I see Giglio coming down too. Let's see.
Sosa's now in 7th.
Yeah. Benefield in 6th place has pitted. Giglio's in the pits right now. Cam Stone hasn't pitted. Delaney hasn't pitted. Root hasn't pitted. This is going to make things very interesting once we get through all this
cycle, aren't we?
Yeah, no, it's going to be very interesting to see where everybody kind of fits out here. Cam Stone is currently your leader. Let's go up to Cam Stone and follow along with Cam Stone for a moment here. See when he decides to. He stayed out quite a bit earlier in a run too, so this isn't the first time he's done that. Last lap time was a 32.2, so he's definitely fallen off the pace, so he's not going to want to stay out there too much longer. I would say he's probably going to be coming in the next lap or two, but I mean, he's a former championship winner, so his strategy is going to work for him. Don't want to second guess that. You see some of these drivers. Delaney has come into the pits now. So Cam Stone is the only one left. Yep, he is the only one left in the. Oh, him and Dalton Mobley haven't pitted.
Yeah. No, they haven't pitted.
So those are the only two left up in the top 10. And Robert Anderson hasn't pitted either. He is back in 6th place. Yeah. So right now, I honestly think, I mean, Adam Benefield moving up into 3rd place right now. Solid pit stop for him. Great opportunity there. Adam Benefield does have an opportunity here to take a victory.
I don't know what. Going down now. Western Hickory's just gone round as well. Don't know if that's Sosa's not really defending, fighting the one line.
Well, his times are going to start dropping off a little bit. That last lap was a 31.91. I'm looking at the right.
Yeah. Got to be looking.
Yeah, he's definitely got to be moving soon, but Sousa shouldn't be falling off that much. He pitted on 213, so he should have, plenty of rubber to not only be fine right now, but to make it to the end. He's not going to be the fastest at the end, and we have a caution. Well, that's going to throw a wrench in everything. That's going to be awesome for Cam Stone. Free pit stop for Cam Stone here. See if he's able to take advantage of that.
Literally have nothing to do. Well, I get.
Yeah, there it is. 23 and the 79.
23 and 79.
So that's Zach Roethlisberger and 79 is Matthew Gaskins.
Yeah, so they
So-
were actually fine. Weren't
So
they,
the incident
really?
the incident just took place on the racing line, so that's why the caution came out. They were both able to kind of save it, but yeah.
Look, they
looks like
push each other
here-
around again, doesn't he? And he carries on.
Yeah, they both are
Ah,
able to save it, so.
That was a
Well, it's still a yellow, but yeah, that's going to bring that caution flag out. Cam is going to go ahead and pit, so we'll see how everybody kind of fans out from here.
got tyres left. I would pit.
I don't know. Not if you just pitted. This is Cam Stone probably didn't want to see that that caution come
that's
out.
worked out well for Souza, who's because obviously now got to stop to get fresh boots on.
Yeah, and you see here, Kevin Steele hasn't pitted yet, up in a third place showing right now, but
However,
he's got to be coming in at some point.
I'm a little bit concerned he's done a little bit of a boo-boo here. Pit lane times of up in a minute. Carrying a little bit.
I'm not really sure. Maybe he had a penalty he had to serve, but we see here Jason Taylor is currently out in front. Bryson Hicksonball in second place. See Kevin Steele in third place. Kevin Steele last pitted at 187, so Kevin Steele is gonna have to pit again. You see, I think was that Blake Giglio as well? That can't be right. Blake Giglio I'm showing is pitting at 187, but I could have sworn I saw him come in.
231.
My timing screen is incorrect because it's showing that he pitted at 187. So I'm not 100% sure if Kevin Steele pitted at 187 either. So we will have to see. But yeah, my timing is definitely thrown off a little bit.
Kevin Steele.
Yeah, that's strange because him and Giglio are both showing as 187.
Right.
Hey, I believe you. I'm just saying. That's what I'm seeing, bud. That's all I'm saying. My information is incorrect.
So that's 30 laps, guys. Go. Gonna come away with this. Top 5, Jason Taylor, Bryson Hickborough, Kevin Steele, John Delaney, Blake Giglio, Dalton Mobley, Adam Benefield, Matt Long, or Robert Anderson with Cam Stone in place. Michael, what do we think?
I mean, I can't change now.
No.
I got to go with Delaney, but I mean, I did call Blake Giglio from the start, so if he wins, I'm gonna take credit for that as well. So I guess I got two drivers up there. It might not be fair, but I'm playing that game.
Yeah, that can...
Because I called Giglio before the race ever started.
They were Giglio.
So technically, I can't. You can't bet against John Delaney. He came up from the back of the pack. I'm putting my chips on red and black.
Well, that's unfair, don't you?
I mean, maybe, but whatever. The house always wins, so I'm trying to be the house here.
Oh, carry on being in the house for him.
Yep, not a problem. So we see the lights have come off on the Ford Mustang GT pace car. We will be coming around and taking the green flag here momentarily. Jason Taylor is going to be our control car. He's going to lead us through the Geico restart zone. We'll see momentarily how this restart goes as he waits to the very last second. Does get a jump. Does have a nice little gap there, but it looks like Bryson Hicksonball has a strong run here, but John Delaney on the outside, so second and third place is going to be a strong battle to catch up with Jason Taylor. You see Kevin Steele right behind the two of them trying to battle it out, trying to figure out which lane he wants to go through, who he wants to try to get on the back of, and it looks like John Delaney is going to get the pass done on Hicksonball. So John Delaney off of that restart up into second place. John Delaney now really on the tail end of Jason Taylor. They both caught up to him pretty quickly once they sorted out second and third. John Delaney taking that outside line again. He got that move done earlier on Hicksonball just a lap ago, and now he's able to make the move again. So John Delaney really getting out there. That is going to be your new leader, John Delaney. Jason Taylor in second place, Bryson Hicksonball in third, Dalton Mobley in fourth place, Kevin Steele in fifth place, Matt Long in sixth place, Adam Benefield in seventh place, Blake Giglio in eighth place. We got Nolan Hodgson in ninth place, and Cam Steele rounding out your top 10. And we see Stone has moved up a spot. Giglio has moved up a spot. And we see Two Wide Racing going down the back stretch. There is quite a lot going on in this middle pack here. So we see 3 wide coming in here.
Wide, and what's going to happen here as well? Robert Anderson. That makes Kevin Steele, Nolan Hodgson, Adam Benefield, and Cam Stone. Robert Anderson was the one who dropped down onto the apron. It's got a little bit spicy since as we're on go.
Yeah, John Delaney did move up into the lead there. Made a nice move on Bryson Hicksonball on the outside, and then the following lap made the same move on Jason Taylor. So he has a strong run. He is out to first place, and looks like Matt Long is trying to make a move down on the apron down there too, trying to get himself up there, saying, "Don't forget about me." James, I'm going to go ahead and let you take over for a moment.
Wow, here we go, guys. There's now Rob Stone in chat. This fixing to get wild, it definitely is. And Blake Giglio is currently sitting in fourth with Bryson Hicksborough. Jonathan Delaney is currently out in front. Jason Taylor in second. Here we go. Where will the action gets from? This is why we've been sat here. And this is what happens when we get into the last 22 or 30-second a lap. We're going to find out very, very shortly how this one is going to pan out, guys, in the next about 6, probably, if not maybe a little bit more. But this is going to be absolutely spicy. So be aware that this is going to be coming to the checkered flag, and very, very shortly we're going to find out how this one is going to finish. Tell you what, with 21 on the clock, and Delaney, Benefield, Giglio's moved up into second, Benefield is third, Stone is fourth, Taylor fifth, Matt Long sixth, Hodgson seventh, Anderson eighth, Mobley ninth, but Bryson Hicksborough is 10th. So there is Bryson now down in 10th place. There is Cam Stone up in currently in fourth place. Adam Benefield third. Oh, there's going to be a caution. Gotta be, something's going to happen up front here.
Oh, we got quite a bit going on up front there.
Yeah, they're 3 wide they're almost flying in formation, which is quite nice, behind Delaney. Almost like an air display for a minute. Delaney was the lead at Red Arrows. But yeah, it's going to be getting 20 to go, Michael, and they're getting really, really risky up front currently at the moment. So yeah, battling hard.
Yeah, everybody's got fresh rubber. This is going to be all about who is going to be the fastest here, because they don't have to worry about tire drag anymore. They all came in around the same time. They're all putting in mid-30s here. They're not going to fall off that quickly, so it's just off to the races now. There is no reason to hold back at any point from here on out. So I would not be surprised if we see a caution up here at the front, because these guys are definitely going to be battling it out. As we see Adam Benefield going down on the apron. He called himself, he said he was going to win. He is definitely putting his money where his mouth is. He's up into second place. Cam Stone following suit up into fourth place. So this is definitely going to be interesting. Adam Benefield talking a little trash there in the chat, in the YouTube chat, saying Cam Stone was washed up, but Robert Stone saying that he has got his back. And we should see a nice battle between these two guys here. And Adam Benefield up on the tail of John Delaney. Is he a fortune teller?
I don't know, but he's turned around and said he's going to buy Robert a T-shirt there as well with his number. I'll get you an 83 shirt, Robert. And Rob did say that I will try to wear it. So there's no confession that he was actually going to with 17 on the clock here. It was the fact that he would try.
Yeah, I'm a little confused about that. How would you try to wear a shirt?
Yeah, maybe
you
he's
are or you're not. So I guess that's kind of a non-answer, a polite no, maybe.
Yeah, well, I follow football over here in the UK, and I mean, like, kick football. No, I wouldn't wear a shirt of another team.
What if you lost the bet?
All right, if I lost a bet, then I'd wear it probably for about 2 minutes before I took it off and used toilet paper.
Yeah, I'm the same way, except for the fact that I wouldn't even put it on. There's no way you'd catch me in a rival American football jersey.
I think, yeah,
that's for sure.
I don't think I'd bet. I knew I wouldn't fulfill it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think for me it would just be, there's certain teams that I just absolutely would not, certain teams that I probably would take that bet. So I guess it all depends. But that being said, we're down to 15 laps to go here in Las Vegas. Tire degradation extreme, not the case any longer. These guys are on fresh rubber. They are going for the win. We've got a heck of a battle up front here. John Delaney out front, Adam Benefield with a strong charge in the second, Matt Long back in the third place, Blake Giglio in fourth place, Cam Stone taking fourth place on the outside, coming down the backstretch. See if he's able to keep this move alive, and Blake Giglio has the inside, but I don't think he's going to be able to make the inside work. I think Cam Stone, job done. Yep, he's got it taken care of. Nolan Hodgson right behind these two.
Benefield and Long, sorry there, Michael. They were rubbing doors going around the corner. Benefield's either got to run that high line out the outside and try and push forward, or slot back in because he has lost a little bit of time, and at the moment he's slot back in. But that was even close as well. He's trying to get the own inside line, working on trying to get Matt Long out of the inside groove that he was in, to allow him to come through because Benefield kind of needs to close the gap right up. We've got 12 to go. 12 to go, and this is going to get one spicy little bit of the action here, and with how this one pans out. But yeah,
we got Callie H in the chat. Let's go Nolan, number 54. I'm a little confused about that. We got Nolan Hodgson, the 42, up in 7th place. We also have Ralph Hutchison, who unfortunately was involved in that incident earlier, way back in the field.
You have a
maybe. Yeah, Ralph Hutchison.
Oh yeah, he's out. Yeah, Ralph's out. He's on.
Well, Callie's just broken room for both of them then. Let's go, Callie.
Callie's just there picking one. Fine.
I mean, I can't say anything. I've got Giglio and Delaney. Either way, I win. Okay, then I've got Delaney and Giglio. It's either I have Giglio and Delaney, or I have Delaney and Giglio. I just pick one. I'm not sure. The house wins. The house wins. 10 laps to go. Delaney is going to come away with this one.
Yeah, I think
as long as he can keep Matt Long at bay.
I don't know. I had Long down, so I'm quite happy here. I've only got one choice because I play by the rules. I'd like to point that out.
Oh yeah.
No, none of
all
this.
Right, fine.
Swapping.
Fine. Well, I didn't swap.
Well,
my pre-race choice was Giglio. My in-race choice was Delaney.
Not getting it. Now, the only good thing is Robert Miller has crashed and gone to the pits. Now, that didn't cause a caution. So, that would have killed everything.
Yeah, that would have thrown everything. Oh, we see a little bit of a slide there from Miller. Miller is going sideways. Is he's able to get it off of the racing line? Is this going to bring out the caution? I don't think so.
It didn't.
I think we're going to be safe. And that is unfortunate. He lost the tail end there and got into the inside wall there.
Yeah, no.
Unfortunate for Miller, but yeah, that's lucky for the rest of the race.
8 to go.
See Adam Benefield under attack on the inside line comes Robert Anderson. Anderson and Benefield fighting down into turn 3 here. They got Jason Taylor on their tail as well. Adam Benefield is going to have to back off so he can defend
Let him
against Taylor.
Get in. Oh, yeah. He didn't shut that door, did he? The gap was there with Anderson. And now, unfortunately for Benefield, Taylor's gone through. You had the gap. You got to put your car in there, mate. It's not working out running around the same line. It's almost like you same process over again. It's a different fault. So
we'll see here in a moment. We got 7 laps to go. Coming around this time, it'll be 6. Matt Long following John Delaney. Coming through here, through to yep. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, just saying, 6 to go. Long's only steps back, closer than that, I think. So, go him, mate. He's just got to be brave.
He's just under 3/10. Last lap he was 200ths of a second slower, slower. This time he was 100th of a second faster. So, yeah, this is going to be close down to the end. That's what you called earlier in the race. A really close finish. A lot of action here at the end of the race. That's what we're getting.
Go Long's going to close it up now. My one choice is that was, what was that? Robert Anderson, I think.
Robert Anderson still running up in 3rd place. Did he get close to the wall there?
Oh, it looked like he went off track, unless he just ran that bottom line before.
I think I missed that, but
yeah,
Robert Anderson has
wide at one point.
He's had quite the up and down race. At one point, he was up in the front of the field. He had that odd pit stop. Now he's back in 3rd place. He's got Jason Taylor all over his rear end. He was able to get around Benefield, who had to give up the space to Taylor. Was not able, like you said, to shut that door. Adam Benefield slowly falling back a little bit. John Delaney got really high there. That's going to open the door up, or he's going to shut the door. I'm surprised. I thought Matt Long was coming through for sure there.
Yeah, 2 to go. Let's go Nolan 42, Callie says.
That makes sense. Nolan
go.
Hodgson, the 42, up in the 9th place. Thank you for the clarification there. I'm easy to confuse.
Yeah, mind.
What is mine, no matter. What is matter, never mind.
Exactly. But this is the one that is going to matter. We're on the final lap. Final lap. Can Matt Long do anything about Delaney?
Hey, I just want to say that my one choice was John Delaney.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I must have missed that one. Here we go. Go full of it. I tell you. Oh, Matt Long.
Wow.
Matt Long.
Oh, he had a run, but he had to back out.
Oh, I think Delaney's going to get this. Oh, Matt Long. John Delaney comes across the line and takes the victory. But boy, did Matt Long have a run on him there.
That was
Couldn't get it done. That was so unlucky for Matt Long.
That was an excellent finish there. Robert Anderson, up and down race, but coming through strong at the end here in 3rd place. That was an epic finish there. I am thoroughly impressed by these drivers. Got a Jason Taylor coming through in 4th, Adam Benefield in 5th place, Lucas Hoytman in 6th place, Cam Stone coming through in 7th, Blake Giglio in 8th place, Kevin Steele in 9th place, rounding out your top 10 with Nolan Hodgson.
Hodgson, 7th place. You called that 6. Yeah, that was Michael called the. Well, he called 2 technically. Called and.
I called Giglio before the race started, so that doesn't count, man. But look at those donuts here. Let's go ahead and give John Delaney some screen time. Something that he's been very accustomed to this season. Is that his 9th win?
Yeah, I think so.
Already the championship leader coming in with 51 points above the cut line. Absolutely dominating this season. What a finish. Matt Long, like you said, he had that run there, but unable to really pull it off at the end. As we go through these final results, John Delaney, your winner. Matt Long coming through right behind him. Robert Anderson in 3rd place. Jason Taylor 4th. Adam Benefield 5th. Lucas Hoitzman 6th. Cam Stone 7th. Blake Giglio in 8th. Kevin Steele in 9th. And Nolan Hodgson rounding out your top 10. Then we got Matt DiCiani, who we didn't really talk about too much tonight. Quiet race up into 11th place. Sean O'Brien coming up in 12th. RJ Root in 13th. Brandon Pierce in 14th. Adam Vandersant in 15th. Bryson Hicksonbaugh in 16th. Dalton Mobley in 17th. We had Wayne Grassy in 18th spot. Go a little bit further down the field. We got Tanner Marty in 19th. Bryce, can you go back up? No, never mind. Hold on. I got you. Bryson Alexander in 20th spot. Damian Acerenza, 21st. Jeffrey Sousa in 22nd. Preston McRae in 23rd. Demarius Hickenbottom in 24th. Zach Roethlisberger in 25th. Chad Sander in 26th. Matthew Gaskin in 27th. Travis Gurmeda in 28th. Robert Miller in 29th. Alex Princeton in 30th. Andrew Russo in 31st. Jason Baker in 32nd. Ralph Hutchison in 33rd. Taylor Stout 34th. Tyler Penasuno in 35th. Christopher Hammond in 36th. Ryan Samuelson in 37th. Randy Drumhiller in 38th. And Devin Medeiros rounding out the race in 39th spot. Most of those drivers not finishing the race due to that early lap 1 incident. But there you go. John Delaney doing the reverse lap, finishing off his celebrations. We should have him momentarily in the rating room. We'll go ahead.
Let's start with the leader, John Delaney. Well,
let's go with Bobby Anderson first. We'll go 3, 2, 1.
Oh, okay. Let's go in reverse. Right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
There we go. We've got Bobby Anderson in to the booth. Bobby, I hope you're well. Michael is yours.
Mr. Anderson, that was a great race. Finishing top 3, you had quite the up and down day. Let's go through some of those instances. Tell us about that final last lap there, the final 10 laps there.
Man, it was intense. This track, if you're not aggressive, you're gonna get passed and sit back in 15th. So I'm sure I upset some people tonight, but I had to, otherwise I wouldn't have finished 3rd.
No, definitely a strong run there. We saw you take a pit stop that seemed like you were a little off from everybody else. Can you kind of give us a little bit of strategy there? I think that was during the 2nd stint. You pit off from everybody else there. You were kind of out of the cycle. What happened with that? Was that just a strategy call, or did you have damage or something?
It was a dumb call. So I had stayed out on the first caution in the 2nd stage. Everybody else had pit. I had misjudged the amount of tire sets that we had, so I just had to pit a little bit early so I could make sure that I had enough time to get around everybody and stay on the lead lap in stage 2.
Yeah, no, it definitely seemed, we were talking about it quite a bit here in the booth, trying to figure out what exactly was going on. It seemed like a brave call nonetheless, but you were able to get that lap back. You were much faster than everybody else there for a while in that 2nd stint there towards the end as well. So it ended up actually being, I know you said a dumb move, but it actually ended up working out for you in the long run, coming down to the 3rd place. So great finish there for you. Are you excited for Homestead next week?
I am. Got a good guy that builds some good sets on our team, and he really excels at the 1.5 milers. So got one more of those, and we'll definitely look forward to it next week.
Yeah, well, go ahead. Anybody you want to go ahead and shout out for us?
Just family and friends, anybody watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to Damaris and Kevin for always putting on a good show, doing all the hard work behind the scenes. And thanks to you guys, too. Really appreciate you broadcasting and sticking around with us for 3 hours.
Hey, well, our pleasure to be here. Everybody, number 3 tonight, Bobby Anderson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night, and see you next week.
You too, guys. God bless.
All right, everybody. That was Robert Anderson. Number 11 coming in third place. James, if you can go ahead and bring Matt Long in, your call. Mr. Long, how you doing tonight? Second place. That was an epic battle there at the end. Go ahead and walk us through that last lap. It seemed like you really had a strong run going into 3 and 4 there.
I don't know if it was a strong run, but I freaking sent it, man. Win locks me into the championship. So, even though it's my teammate, I figured I'd use the bumper a little bit or try to. I try to get a little bit of run on him, and I didn't want to wreck him. But John is an amazing driver and just beat me straight up there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, actually, me and James, I picked John to win the race, and James picked you to win the race, so we were kind of going back and forth there a little bit. And there, when you sent it, like you said, it really looked like you had a strong run, strong opportunity, but just that bumper was a little bit too wide for you to get around there at the end. But like you said, teammates, you never want to take out your teammate. Second place is still strong points going into next week at Homestead. How do you feel about next week?
Yeah, I feel really good. Our mile and a half package all year has been really good. We call them Taylor tracks for Taylor Stout. He helps a lot with the setups there, and we've got it figured out pretty good, I think. So feeling good about Homestead, and really good points day today. Third in both stages and second at the end. So just need another run like that, and then put a lot of focus on Phoenix, hopefully. So it was a good day for sure.
Yeah, definitely needed that. You were sitting in fourth place coming into today, 1 point above the cut. This is definitely going to help you out. Like you said, those strong stage points and second place overall at the finish. How was the tire degradation today? How did that work for you?
That was the name of the game for sure. Early on, I drove hard and we have a fast car. I think there's a couple guys out there like Robert and Jason, JT, both had really good cars. I think they were better, but after the first stage, I started backing off a little bit early in the run and saving. So, overall, I think our car was pretty good on long runs, but yeah, it was just all a matter of when you wanted to use your tires, how much you saved. So it was good.
I'm actually really glad you pointed that out. A couple of the races that I've done here, I've kind of noticed in the past this season, you've had really strong short runs, but kind of fallen off on the longer runs. Tonight, you kind of definitely did the opposite. So that was a really, really great tire saving that you did there to be able to keep those tires here someplace like Las Vegas that just shreds the rubber. So, that was really impressive there to, keep yourself, strong on the shorter runs, but even stronger and more capable on the longer runs. So that was a nice way to kind of reverse that around a little bit.
Yeah, I tell you what, like I was probably losing a little confidence in myself on how driving long runs and saving tires. So today was it was a good little confidence builder that I still know how to do that. So that was good, yeah.
No, that's definitely awesome, man. Well, is there anybody else that you wanted to shout out tonight? I know you shouted out Jason Stout there. Sorry.
Yeah, all good, Taylor. Just all my friends and family watching. My mom's watching, and you guys putting on the show. Damaris and Kevin for running the league. They do an awesome job. Just my teammates here at LDR. Big points day for us. Hopefully take home the championship.
Yeah, no, congratulations on your second place. Definitely want to thank you for coming into the booth with us. And we are going to go ahead and let you go. Go ahead and celebrate. And we're going to go ahead and bring John Delaney in. So, Matt, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
That was Matt Long, second place tonight. Let's go ahead and bring in John Delaney. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, John Delaney. Let me know if I've said that once or twice this season. It seems like you're always up here on the top row. John Delaney, that was an exciting race. Let us know how that last lap went in your head.
Oh, man. Yeah, that last lap, Matt was just running me down. Slowly but surely. And, last lap was just, in my mind, just, hit your marks and don't mess up, pretty much. That was pretty much the mindset, so yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely a great battle there. The last few laps between the two of you, honestly, it seemed like you had a pretty strong run there on the last lap coming in at 3 and 4, but You had positioned your car perfectly. He wasn't able to get around you. Obviously, he said being teammates, he didn't want to take you out, which is always a good thing. But strong points, obviously, this is pretty much going to secure you into the final round of 4. Well, the next round of 4. But yeah, strong points for your team as well. How are you looking forward to Miami next week?
Sadly, I won't be racing Miami.
Oh,
So that
well, it's a good thing you got. It's a good thing you got that win in this week. Then that was
it
definitely
is.
clutch.
Yep, it is. Yep.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about the tire degradation then. It seems like you know everybody was kind of dealing with that today. There were some cautions that helped save tires a little bit, but walk us through some of your strategies there.
So I mean, it was pretty much the same thing I did at Kansas. You just run that bottom line and just you got to just be nice and smooth on throttle, both going in and out of exit.
Hmm.
It's just running the middle or top lane, it just wears down your tires so quickly because you're on the throttle so much more. So just running that bottom really saves tires, and just losing a spot or two early on, it is worth it, because by the end of the run you can be 3 to 4, maybe even 5 tenths a lap quicker, around lap 30 or 40 of a run. So it's definitely you gotta have discipline to do it, to save tires. Something I just this year really kind of learned how to do. So and with this new car, so I've found it out, or figured it out pretty well compared to others. So but yeah, it's really just you gotta have discipline to do it.
I mean, discipline. This is what your ninth win this year.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I lose track.
something, something like that. I don't know. I got too many trophies on the wall. I can't count anymore. Yeah, no, that was it. We definitely saw that strategy working out for you. You would have a strong start, and then you'd kind of slowly kind of fall back. You know, you'd be in the top 3, and then all of a sudden you'd be around 7th, 8th, 9th, and then you just have a strong run back towards the end of each stint, and it was just consistent every single end of the stint. John Delaney was up front there. So congratulations on your win tonight. Is there anybody you want to shout out tonight?
Of course, yeah. So everyone on that race tonight, and everyone on lockdown race and the race tonight as well. Good. We had good points tonight for the team. So I don't know if we lost a team championship lead last week, so I don't know. We had a pretty good run this week, so maybe we'll get it back. Don't know, but yeah, good run by everyone on our team. Thank you guys for broadcasting. The admins, as always, Kevin and Damaris, for putting on this league, and as well as Kevin for the paint. Let's see, everyone on actual lockdown race, and all of our sponsors, and then probably the man who did it tonight, Jason S. Taylor, for the set tonight. He gave me definitely one set to definitely go out there and win for sure. So huge shout out to him.
Awesome, man. Well, great win. Congratulations on the drive. Really just locking yourself in to continue your domination of this playoff run here. But congratulations on your win tonight. I know you said you're not going to be here next week, but we will definitely see you at Martinsville. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner tonight, John Delaney. Thanks for joining us in the booth. Congratulations once again. Have a great night, bud.
You too, guys. Thank you.
Oh, and I was just going to say one last thing. I love his avatar aviator. It's baller.
Oh. Well, there you go,
But
Michael.
anyways, yeah.
All done and dusted. Give me a sentence to sum up tonight's racing.
A sentence to sum up tonight's racing. I called it. No, tonight was extremely fun. Great racing all up and down the field. Tire degradation. We were saying it all night long. These top 3 drivers were all saying it as well. Tire degradation was the name of the game. That's really what mattered here. Is you got to roll the dice here at Las Vegas, and you see, came out on top there, John Delaney, with your win. Want to go ahead and thank everybody here. Definitely want to thank you, James, for running the broadcast for us tonight. Shout out to Jimmy Strong as well. Shout out to the 100% Cup Series for having us. I think that's all I got. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, there we go, guys. That is brought us to the end of this absolutely amazing race. Well, don't forget, guys, if you are watching it live, please subscribe, like, and give the video a big old thumbs up and turn on the bells for notifications. Amazing racing. We've got Radicals Endurance coming up tomorrow night. We've got MX AC3s on Monday. Then we've got MX5s on Tuesday, 3s on Wednesdays, Radicals on Thursdays. Then we've actually got a night off next Friday. Well, my wife will be happy about that. And then we've got more action coming up over the weekend. That one. But for guys, from all that's left for me to say, from myself, James Parfitt, and Michael David, well, take care. Have a great week. And you never know. Might see you back sometime. Good night.